Inside Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fired pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall.
We won't give that to the fans.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Salutations.
Greetings and salutations.
That's my new word,
Okay.
my introductory word for Stones Live. Salutations.
Word of the day: toilet paper is working well for you, isn't it?
It is. It's like it replaced my Trump toilet paper.
Oh God!
And, I'm really.
What? I don't know which is better or worse in this particular case. I don't know.
Guys, we have a 5-5 game for you tonight, like no other, and I can say that with confidence.
Is it the best game ever?
It's not. No.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
We had that game a couple weeks ago. For any of you that missed it, you can simply put !Harlan into the chat room, and that link will pop right up. It was pretty amazing. Tonight is a pretty good lineup, though, and I wanted to say it is like a game that has never happened before, because this particular lineup of 9 players have never played together before.
That's awesome. So it is a fun 5-5 game.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see another 13K pot, but it is a fun 5-5 game.
You never know.
You never know.
So this is what Harlan proposed to me today before the game. He said, if we agree to do a $100 bomb pot at every dealer change, do you think that you could get Stones to agree to put in a $200 rack attack at every dealer change?
Wow.
So to make an insane game,
so that's $1,100 pots.
every dealer change,
Oh my
$1,100
God.
and 9 hands to the flop.
Wow.
But then my response was that game breaks at 7:40 when the first push comes in. The game breaks.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Because everyone's gonna fight.
Yeah.
You see what they did for 650.
Oh my God.
That was
Yeah.
a nutty hand.
That's insane.
But hoping for some great action tonight. Fun lineup. Let's head down to the table. You're gonna notice just about everybody here. We got it's a game of regulars, a lot of really high-level players, so it'll be interesting to see what happens and if we can get some cards magically line up. So let's take it away. Seat 1.
The deck cooperates. Good old Peter K. I will have my usual prop bet over/under on how long it takes Peter to order his usual salad. I'm going to take the under on 8:30 p.m.
I think we should talk about what kind of salad Peter will order.
I'm guessing balsamic chicken. That's just the no. But anyways, Peter, regular to the stream. You know him, you love him. It's Peter. What can we say? He's a fixture here at Stones and all around good.
A great
guy.
player too.
Yeah.
One player who I have seen his game open and expand immensely since he's begun playing.
Tell me who it is, because their seat's empty. I can't tell.
Day. I named
There
him.
it
I named him a
is.
couple weeks ago.
Yes, absolutely.
I said it's today, and he said, "Okay, that's my name."
Nice, yeah. And dude, just all around super nice guy, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
he is.
He's really cool. He's fun to play with. He's not afraid to mix it up.
We tricked Day into believing that we are celebrities. Did you know that?
Wow, awesome.
He told me that I was a celebrity in his mind, and I said that actually plays really good because I'm a celebrity in my mind too. So me and Day get along really well.
We knew that. We knew that.
Seat number 3, the one, the only Cornbread. I am super stoked to eventually get Cornbread, crispy bacon, and sticky rice in a game together. I want to do the food game.
Oh, the food game.
The food game.
That's like Thanksgiving feast.
Seat number 4 is one of the top 3 in my opinion.
you know it.
Sacramento Poker Crushers. Eric the Mailman, and is that Kathy in the background of his picture?
So,
okay.
Mailman, absolute beast mode. We call him Mailman because he's constantly shipping pots. If you go,
Didn't you used to be a mailman?
I don't see it that way. I mean, probably, but we just call it because he's shipping pots.
Okay.
You love him. You see him everywhere you go. You'll see him in Vegas. You'll see him in Reno, Tahoe. Just crushing all around crusher. Love to have him in the game.
All right. Is he one of your poker crushes when you talk about crushers?
I mean, I don't want to take all Veronica's crushes. That's not in my spot. But next to him, directly on his left there, Frederick.
Most improved player of 2017.
Dude, and I swear to God, this guy, if we could count up all the times, you could do that in your off time since you have so much free time, count up how many times these guys have been on the show, because Frederick has got to be up there.
Oh yeah, he is. And he took a couple weeks off, but he's back and he's ready to rock. Seat number 6 coming in with the Best Profile Picture Award. That's Porter.
Yeah.
And Porter also, fun fact, the name of a delicious beer, as well as a really good poker player.
And if Porter ever rivers a really, really good hand, it's because he pulled the river right out of his beard and slapped it down. Nobody sees it coming.
A beard that almost rivals Jake's beard. Almost. Yeah.
Almost.
I know.
Yeah,
I said
yeah,
almost.
Yeah. Be careful.
Seat 7 Tom, we have seen him on the stream once or twice before. I don't know much about him. He has tended to rack up early in the game, but we will get to see his tendencies. And seat 8, possibly competing for Best Profile Picture, Harlan.
Oh my
And
God.
that is a picture
Yes.
after stacking most of his chips of the giant pot that he won, as well as his crotch.
Yeah,
so
both.
The crotch is there too.
It's a double win for Harlan there. So good for him. Large stacks everywhere.
And of course, seat 9, the one, the only Mike R has been present a lot on our
Yeah.
stream lately. We have a deep list for the game. It should be good action, and let's get to it.
Imagine how deep that list would go if you offered the $200 every dealer change.
Wow.
Dude, that'd be just like
you
nobody would ever
imagine?
get in the game. It would just be like a list of 40 people.
Well, I mean, it's such positive EV, but it's like, it's not like you're just giving away 200. Everyone's going to have to risk
it'd be-
$100,
yeah,
you know. So
yeah.
it would bring an interesting dynamic
You know,
to the
Harlan
game.
suggested that, but I wonder if all the players would agree to that.
That would be the other thing is
I
that
bet they would.
we can't force them to though. And
No, it'd have to
I
be-
do know that
have
they
to be
were
honor system.
They were trying to do $50 bomb pots in this game. One player who shall remain nameless.
I'm outing them right now.
One player said that he did not want to participate. So until we have players that can 100% unanimously agree, we won't have $50 bomb pots. They wanted to do that every day.
You know what I would do? Personally, if they would let me, I would just buy his action. I'd cover his $50 bomb pot, and if he won the pot, we'd chop it. I don't know about
Well,
you guys,
you're-
but I would totally do
You
that.
are generous and rich. So-
I'm neither of those things, actually. But I am a degenerate gambler. It sounds like the word generous.
Degenerate, generous,
yeah.
it sounds similar. Okay, so this is the second hand of the stream, and I do have some inside knowledge that the action tracker crashed, so we will not have accurate counts or cards for these first couple of hands.
Did Harlan go to the all-white store before the stream? Is that what he did with his winnings? From the last?
Harlan now has a bankroll for any game he'd like to play.
Yes, he's just fine.
A lot of people did see the big $15,000 pot on the stream a couple weeks ago, but what they didn't see was an hour after the stream when Harlan also scooped a $30,000 pot off
Oh
the
my
stream.
God.
Hey, thank you for everyone joining us in
Our
the
super
chat room.
usuals.
Sean McCormick, Canadian shooter, the Brock,
man.
Trav G, even Fat Train's in there.
Oh my
Hi,
God.
Fat Train. Thank you for watching the show.
No, seriously, we love our usuals. I like when my friends with some of you guys. It pops in. Hey, your friend has just started watching. I'm like, sneaky, sneaky.
Sneaky,
There we go.
sneaky.
Even we got Pocket T in there. That's very nice. Greetings and salutations.
Pocket Tees, okay.
Pocket Tees. You got
Wow.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. I feel that if you are into poker right now, it's a great time in general for poker, but especially
Absolutely.
like today. I was streaming all of Day 1C on the World Series.
Yep.
I got a lot of our friends, a lot of our local buddies here who play at Stones are playing in the main event today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm streaming that, I'm watching that. Then you got us. I mean, I would just be binging out multi-monitor.
Did you see the incredible
Selfs?
laydown from Selfs? Yeah.
She didn't lay down, she called.
No, before that.
Oh, no, I didn't.
So yeah, no, she thought about laying down against
Which
the
was
quads,
insane
right?
because if people who are new to poker, they're like, "Dude, nobody could ever lay that down." And when she said she thought about laying that down because she knew the other girl had quads,
Yep.
like she was not lying. She was very serious, and I believe her 100%.
She's a pretty impressive player. We tried to get her here a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You know, before she was as good as she is now.
Uh-huh.
We ended up getting Somerville, Liv Borey, and Moneymaker instead.
Oh,
Some
that's
great
fun.
relationships
That's
built up.
solid,
It
yeah.
was a Poker Stars event.
Yeah, very very cool. Now I think the board. So the cards aren't right. Obviously, we know about that. Harlan or somebody had fours. If that is correct, and I think a four is just at the turn, maybe. I think.
Not even sure that that's correct. Again, these first couple of hands, some trouble with our action trackers. So we will be catching up momentarily and get to the action of the game. Blake,
Brock wants you to explain real quick, if you would, that 30K pot.
so I only know it from Jake, so it's a secondhand information, but my understanding is Harlan flopping set, top set, Bill H also deep stacked about 15K along with Harlan, flopping the nut straight.
Oh, God.
And Mike in seat 1, Mike Lewis, who was playing in seat 1 with top 2 pair. All of them get it in on the flop, and Harlan hits quads on the river.
Oh my God.
Scoops
So set,
30,000.
top 2 and nut straight. God,
Pretty
so
gross.
ridiculous.
Pretty gross.
And whenever you have some power hitters like we have here at the oh, Peter's already got a salad. Nailed it. Nailed it. Boom.
That is a chicken Caesar, though.
That okay, but I'm just saying that took 11
You
minutes.
said chicken balsamic is what you said.
There's chicken and there's lettuce. I win. That's what I'm going with. Awesome. So you talked about, I did see our friend Sean McCormick in here. He's going to be here shortly.
He is actually hosting the Veronica and Friends game next week. Is canceled.
Nice.
It's going to be Sean McCormick and Friends.
Nice.
So it's
well, Sean McCormick is much prettier, anyways, than Veronica.
and a better poker player.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
both of those things.
So it'll be very exciting. I am actually getting a huge poster made. It's going to be over there in the poker room with Sean McCormick blown up 3 times his usual size. It should be a lot of fun.
Which will not fit in the building.
I do have some seats open in that game, so if you would like to be Sean McCormick's friend, or you already are, feel free to hit me up and we'll get you on the list. Blake Crafty says, see you guys next week.
Right on.
Is that what's next week?
I don't
Is
know.
he- are you just playing in a game,
Maybe he's
or-
going to come to Sean McCormick's
Or
game.
are you in Sean McCormick's game? Or maybe he's in the 100-200 limit game on the
Ooh,
24th.
that sounds exciting.
And on the 26th, I know maybe he's playing in the vlogger game.
Hold on, I just had a
Okay.
moment for this turn card. Check
Let's
this out.
jump
So you
in.
got Ace,
Oh.
King of clubs, flops top. Oh, see,
Yeah.
river break. But look at this turn here. It gives Mike our trip 7s. It also gives Peter the nut flush draw along with his ace.
Yeah.
So where would Peter be going on the turn?
Nowhere.
I
Sick
know we missed
action
our
card.
opportunity, but we will. Yeah, it's sick action.
Yeah, so Mike boats up on the river there.
And it's easy. Peter bets 80 here. Mike's definitely going to come in for a raise. That looks like much more than 80. It looks like maybe 200 and some change. Let's call that like 235, something, 240.
So Peter trying to go ahead and buy this pot, and Mike's going to bump it up and take it down. Suited Aces is in the chat room, says, hey,
You know,
double
the
Justins.
The sick part is, Peter wasn't trying to buy the pot. Peter's like, I'm betting for value.
Oh, he thought he was
And Mike's
good.
like, hey,
True,
check
true.
me out, bro. Here's
Yeah, I mean,
what
Peter had a
it
pretty
looks
great
like.
hand, especially on the turn. He had to be pretty happy about it. Suited Aces points out double Justins. I wanted to add suited Justins. Oh, you didn't suit up.
I didn't get the memo.
Offsuit
Nobody
Justins.
told me.
Offsuit Justins.
Justin's offsuit. Clever girl.
Okay, it looks like our graphics are back up and running. Nice. Let's check out this game.
Rick and Barstow, sounds like you need an IT guy, my friend. That's in trouble. Try switching browsers if you can't see us, can't hear us. I think everybody else is fine.
Let me check and see if we have sound on the stream. Maybe there's something we're not aware of.
So Day Under the Gun here is going to pop it up to 15. Then good old Conebread. I'm calling him Conebread, by the way.
Conebread?
Conebread. It's just, maybe I can't pronounce R's. So Conebread's going to pop it up 3-bet to 60 here. Harlan's going to call.
Yeah.
And Mike R with some fun suited connectors, getting some great value from the small. He's going to come along as well. It's like Waparai talking about the deuce to 7 tourney at Aria they ran. I heard a lot of good things about that. Wow, look at this board. All right, so check this out. Mike R flops the flush along with open-ended straight flush. Only other player with a diamond is actually Day, and it's the 10 of diamonds. Cornbread hates life with queens. Harlan's in Whiff City.
You know, if only Cornbread could have one diamond in his hand.
Yeah. Cone bed.
Cone bed.
I said I couldn't pronounce R's, and Brock's calling me out that I can't. You know what, dude? You have a lot of logic here, and
so you're
we don't
thinking
use logic.
cone bead?
Cone bead? Yeah,
Cone
no.
bead?
That doesn't have quite the same ring to it. So he bets 2 1/4, and your mic over here. Your hand is, obviously, you hope you flop the best, but it's very counterfeitable. You don't want to see another diamond peel. If somebody does have the nut flush draw, that's a blocker for your straight flush, too. They'd have the ace of diamonds, so he is going to raise it up here. Can't fault him at all, and he's taking this one down.
So, I mean, even when you have these situations where you make these like small flushes, if you're like open-ended to a straight flush draw, it's kind of hard to get away from it, even if someone's playing really aggressively.
Yeah.
I mean, this one here, he feels a little better about it because, as you mentioned, the ace of diamond being part of his straight flush draw, he doesn't have to worry about that as much. But I think it's a wise move. to go ahead and just try and take it down there like you did.
No, absolutely. I mean, aggression pays sometimes. And you know what's funny is we talk about that open-ended straight flush draw. We've seen here on the stream before in hands previously against, like when we see our resident lovable Uncle Matty, right, take brutal beats. We saw him and Postle involved in a pot where Postle has turns a flush, and then basically rivers 4 diamonds to make a straight flush, but then Uncle Matty had the nut flush.
That was another very gross hand here on Stones
Just
Live.
explosions.
So a lot of people will notice that have been watching the stream a lot that Harlan usually sits in seat 1, is now in seat 8. He was also in seat 8 the night he scooped that huge pot. So I asked him, about the seat change if seat 8 was lucky, and he answered me that it is unlucky to be superstitious.
That's fair. Question mark.
I thought it was a great answer. Okay, so we are heads up Ace King versus Ace King.
Chop it up, but they don't know this. So this is where position and aggression wins it. So we got the big blind here, and Day is, position might not even matter here. So Day's gonna fire out a solid C-bet here.
Not a horrible flop to see if you have Ace King, you've raised pre-flop and gotten a caller.
And this is disgusting. Look at Cornbread. Absolutely no fear. Coming in for a raise, like
love
instant
it.
raise, picks up on the C-bet. And
Absolutely
the cool thing about
love
it,
it.
if you're Day, it's really easy to put Cornbread on any pair.
Yeah.
Any pocket pair, right? Because
Yeah.
if he's just gonna flat you, right? Any pocket pair.
What does Day do now?
Well, see, here's the sick part: is Cornbread raised pre. Day then 3-bet him pre-flop. So then Day fires out on the flop here. So it's rough. I mean, you'd have to have a soul read to come in here and oh wow.
Just a call?
Well, yeah, maybe to see what he does here. So he's going to do what I call the reverse float. He's going to float out of position and see what happens. Jack peels.
Still no help for either player. Day's stacking up chips for a bet. And he's going to check. He changes his mind. He pulls his foot off the gas, hits the brakes.
The way this pot is working is really weird. I mean, you'd
Check,
never
check.
think now Day's going to start firing. Now Day's going to pump the river.
What a
Guaranteed.
great trap there if Cornbread did have something
Yeah.
to check back, knowing that Day pretty much has to fire the river now.
So the sick part about it, so the sick part about it is I think Cornbread checking the turn is going to induce Day to fire this river all day long, and that's the sick part, like you said, because if Cornbread did have a hand and he played it the same way, oh, it'd be brutal.
I'm curious if Cornbread's going to call here.
I think Day is trying to get. I don't think he can just. It's rough. I don't think he can just call. I think Day is actually trying to get Cornbread to lay down a pocket pair. I think maybe he's putting him on any sort of like maybe especially if Jack peels the turn and he checks the turn, maybe 8s, 9s, 10s, something like that. And he makes the call. This is gonna be sick. I want to see him table that. Wow.
Chop it up.
Holy crap.
Now this is the level of play that we're getting from a lineup like this.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So guys, if you're not comfortable with just air barreling and calling raises with Ace King and then betting and calling dry with Ace King, maybe you shouldn't be at this table. This is just crazy. Wow, that is quite a lot of work for the chop, but you got to give both. You know what I love about a pot like that is both those players were like, no, I'm not going to give up this pot. You know what I mean? Like that's what it comes down to.
It was
And
like-
that's sick. I honestly,
Like they thought they were in a tournament.
I think the way the whole hand played out, I think that was a ballsy call by Cornbread on the river. But it was a great call. Absolutely great call. You know what? B-Store brings up a great point, which is funny because we've seen this a lot, and I've seen this all the time in the poker room, and I'd love to get your impression on this. So he said he has more bluffs in his range when his friend is behind him sweating it. That happens all the time. So how often in the poker room your buddy walks up, he's like, oh yeah, let me see what you got, right? So you flip, you flash him your hand, and you want to kind of play it up for your buddy. You want to
Right.
go back and forth. I've seen this a lot. I know I've done it. I've been guilty of it. I've been standing behind somebody else, and I almost feel bad sweating because I don't want them to misplay because I'm there.
Is that
you
what
know?
happened when you were on table 3 that night?
Yeah, I don't want to
And
talk
you
about
busted
it.
out right
Yeah.
after that?
Yeah, I don't want to talk
Okay.
about it. Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, you came up and you were like, hey, good luck. And I'm like, set over set. I'm not good. I don't have the good end of it. Let me just donate my $500 and leave. Brock chiming in says table audio is pretty loud. Do not know. I cannot hear them. So Harlan 3-betting up to 75. Mailman with 5s is going to come along. Boom, look at that. Now see, very super wet coordinated board. However, you do flop a set, top set for that matter. Harlan 3-bet you pre. Now, the sick part about this is most players who are 3-betting this wouldn't be in their range, but it's Harlan,
Yeah.
right? So Harlan's range is anything, and Harlan loves suited connectors. So Harlan could actually be the type of sick guy who could 3-bet with like a 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8 and be all over this board. So let's see what Mailman does. He checks over to Harlan. Canadian shooter. He's like, he's probably got Moose sweating him in the room. He's just like, I was trying to impress this Moose, dude. Mailman with the look back.
I can't believe Harlan bets 100 here. He's such a beast. It's like he doesn't even care about money.
Rick and Barstow says using Firefox for whatever reason, IE maybe isn't working today. Internet Explorer, you should take that out behind the barn and shoot it. Don't ever use that ever. So that's
I didn't know they still made Internet Explorer.
It's called Internet Exploder. Mailman pumped on those and Harlan runs on wheels.
I told it. Still not getting to be the same. Oh, they're so
Take a listen to this table audio. Let's see what this thing's about here.
You should just use the community ones.
Yeah, no, I like to dig out the earwax. Actually, that's why they're nice and quiet in here, because the earwax blocks 50% of the audio. That's super solid. I love it. So Wap right in the chat chimes in. Don't worry, guys. Harlan's free rolling like 35K. Sick. Harlan is running like a beast. I wouldn't be surprised to see Harlan hop back with that bankroll back on Poker Night in America, do some more damage. He made a solid bankroll at Poker Night in America as well.
Okay, there I just got confirmation from Blake Kraft in there. He is in next Monday's 5-5 game. I believe this is going to be his first appearance on the stream.
Very cool.
So study up. I've got seat 2 locked up for you.
The official Brunson flop, 10 deuce deuce. Looks like our little tracker there's off on the bottom. It is 10 deuce deuce.
All right, guys, turn card is coming out. Keep in mind, graphics are off. It's 2 deuces and a 10, not a king. So you can't trust the graphics at the moment. We'll walk you through it, guys. Turn card is a 5. 6s are in the lead here. So we're going to turn them over. Pair of 6s will take it down for Porter.
And you know what? Like, so, booth problems, right? Graphics problems. It's just the name of the game. It happens. Everything you see, people will be like, well, why doesn't it happen like in the World Series of Poker, like when we were watching ESPN? Because everything's post-production.
That's true.
Everything is done after the fact. Everything is just ad-libbed in and clipped all together nice and neat for you. Prime example, I was watching Poker Go today.
Okay.
And there was a couple hands, basically, where you could, same thing, same exact thing here. You could see their action tracker kind of resetting and trying to catch up, and the things weren't right on par. I'm like, oh, look, even the big leagues, same thing,
And they have a huge budget for it, too.
Oh, absolutely. I don't even want to know what they spent on that sort of setup. I will tell you this, though. Call me a little biased.
Okay, you're a little biased.
I'm a large biased. So, long story short, I'm watching some of the Poker Go action, and I found it kind of difficult to figure out who was in position, like when it came to betting, who was on the button, who was under the gun, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Without watching it and actually kind of figuring that out, I didn't see any, at least when I was watching, I didn't see any direct indicators of this guy's +1, this guy's +2, this guy's in the hijack or the cutoff.
Does it look like they're using the same software?
No,
as
they're
us?
not. They're using different software. In fact, again, bias. I like ours more. We have the player profile picks in there. The only thing I did kind of like is at the very top of the screen, there's a constant bar that shows the chip stack of each player.
Okay.
Ranked from 1st to 9th on the table.
Okay.
And those automatically move around depending on, so it's always biggest to lowest.
That's pretty cool.
So you can see where you're at on that. So I do like that. But position-wise, I wasn't a huge fan of it.
Interesting.
And I do like having our little graphics there as well. I mean, they do have those, but...
Canadian Shooter says they're also mostly sober. Is he talking about us or the commentators on there?
He's talking about the commentators on there,
There.
and I think that actually
I was
makes
gonna
it
say,
that actually makes it a little.
Couldn't be talking about Stones
No,
commentators.
no. It makes it a little lackluster on there, to be honest with you. You watch it, and I'm like, this is a little dry. I'd like to see maybe a little more, astronaut pizza cats.
I actually
on the
watched
cup.
the final table of that is a pretty cool cup. I watched the final table of a 1500 event on Poker Go with Lon McCarran and David Tuckman and Doug Polk doing the breaks, and I have to say, like, I was pretty impressed, especially Lon's hand analysis. Of course, I mean, he's the voice of poker, but it's just second to none, and we're very fortunate to have Lon as a member of our family here at Stones.
I love it.
You know,
Absolutely. And Lon is just the nicest guy too. You know, I mean, you get some of the celebs off the screen, it's just garbage.
like who?
Not Lon.
Who would you say?
Let me name a bunch of names. Justin Creighton.
True.
Garbage.
All right, so we're still 4 ways to this turn. It checks around.
Straight draws for everybody now with the 7 peels. Peter's got a pair and a straight draw. Frederick's got a pair and a straight draw. Harlan's down there in the 5 deuce range. It never stopped him before.
All right, we are heads up now, and the magic card for Frederick on the river
Bingo,
picks
bango.
up trips and gets the check mark. So it does go check, check, and Frederick turns over. The bad news for Peter that you could not even have bet me off it. Peter's salad not working yet. He needs to take a couple more bites.
Not working yet, indeed. So I will tell you this.
Okay.
I came here for lunch earlier.
All right.
I wanted the typical grilled chicken, balsamic salad that we have.
All
here.
right, yeah.
I went on the other side. I said, hey, I'll get that salad, but can I get it in a bowl? It's a little bit easier, a little more manageable to eat that way.
Okay.
She said, I don't know. They get a little snippy when I ask. Probably not. And I did not.
Oh.
But then I was like, well, they always do it over here, pointing to the poker room. Like, oh yeah, they always do it for the poker room. And I'm like, she's like, I guess they just want presentation. It's all about presentation. You know,
Yeah.
I get that, right?
Yeah.
But she did bring me a fatty bowl, and she's like, check this out. Boom, boom. And we just turned it. I'm like, all right, cool.
For anybody that has ever worked in a restaurant, you know there's always this rift between the front of the house servers and the back of the house, and I think it's not that bad here, but it exists everywhere,
yeah,
you know.
I
So I can kind of understand that.
I was just kind of surprised because I'm like, well, over there, and then she was like, oh yeah, over there's totally fine. I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys just love the poker players.
Well, I mean,
Sweet.
I remember working in a restaurant and someone would order a steak like well done, and I would put in the order, and the chef would sit there and mad dog me like it was my
Yeah.
fault. I'm like, dude, I'm just giving it how they want it, you know.
So I have an honest question for you. How does Harlan flop 2-pair with King 6? I mean, it's just Harlan. I feel his run good is just warming up.
How did we end up with 7 players to this flop? That's my question.
Yeah, I don't know. Was this a bomb pot? We missed it?
I don't think so, because there's 7. We would have 9 in a bomb pot.
Maybe 2 people stepped away.
And it could be because, maybe they decided to do the bomb pot without Tom. Where's the pot? 575? Bet a 220? It could have been. It could have been. We should be paying attention.
I'm in.
All right. Peter with pocket jacks. Actually a fortunate flop for him considering he is behind with 2 overs. It becomes very easy to fold. Mailman with 10-7. Nothing to
nothing
see
for
here.
anybody
Nothing
here.
to see here. That's unfortunate for Harlan. Hitting a big hand. Usually Harlan is the type of player that's going to get paid on a hand like this. That's why he plays them. But no one catches really anything to work with. Porter even showing face up. Man, you should check there. Give me a
like
chance to catch something. But I mean, Harlan acting early position, betting into 7 players. It is the right move, you know, to try and capitalize on it right there, or at least get some drawing hands out of your way. Canadian Shooter chimes in, says that Harlan is luckier than a dog with 2 pieces of genitalia.
Wow.
I cleaned it up a little.
Wow, is that the way you clean it up?
Is that a lucky dog though? You have 2 of them?
Well, yeah, because I mean, generally, you know how dogs' track records for, doing their duty is pretty frequent. So with 2 of them,
I don't know the track record.
it's pretty strong.
Is that quick?
I need you to go watch the Animal Planet documentaries.
About dogs having sex? What?
Okay, apparently I get different channels than you do. My cable.
All right, we got some big hands, some painted cards for Frederick. Day has raised it up to 20 with Ace Jack. commonly known as the parking lot hand.
And why do they call it that?
That's where you end up after you play it.
Yeah, that's true. And Porter mucks King Queen.
Wow.
I don't even
Okay.
hate that muck. When you're facing a 3-bet, King Queen is rarely ahead there. And in this case, it's
Frederick
true.
3-bet with the King Queen. That's why
Harlan,
he
you
folded.
run so good. Bottom set for Harlan.
Isn't that sick?
Everybody else in Whiff City here. Everybody else took a good old trip to Whiff City.
I was
Harlan-
talking with Harlan earlier tonight, and he was telling me about the process of selling your soul to the devil to run good in poker.
It's weird. It's a longer contract than you would think.
You would think, yeah. It's like eternity, right?
The thing is, you just sign it with blood. He just pricks your finger. And
Holy
you just go for
crap. Harlan is such a beast. No one really can catch up here without Runner.
it. Suited Ace says, I want to be Harlan for just one day. All right, so we got a bet and a call here.
Check mark on the
Bets,
turn.
Harlan flats.
Frederick keeping up appearances
and
here.
quads just for fun.
Oh, just quads. Okay.
You didn't need it. You already had the check mark on the turn, but let's get quads.
If I was Harlan, I would never leave seat 8.
God.
Sit in seat 8 for the rest of your life, Harlan.
Right, because that was the seat. That was the same seat where he scooped that huge
That's
pot.
his lucky
Both the
seat.
huge
Remember, he used to always
Oh,
go to
seat
seat
one.
1.
Yeah.
Sean McCormick chimes in the chat room, says Harlan is not invited to the Sean and Friends game.
That's super fair. That's super fair.
I would not let him in my game either. Holy crap. Either that or the whole game could just be you handing him your wallet.
forcibly remove the horseshoe first. Look at we got all the spectators around the thing just standing there watching too.
They know it's going to be a huge game. So another fun moment with Harlan is Harlan.
Another fun moment with
Harlan
Harlan.
sits down and he goes, is so and so in the game? He's asking for his favorite players that he wants
Yeah.
to be in the game. I'm like, no, couldn't get him tonight. No, couldn't get him tonight. And I look at him after he asked for like the fourth person. I go, Harlan, you're the fish in the game tonight.
Oh, good luck
I
with
go,
that.
stop looking around for a fish. You're the fish tonight.
God, he runs too good to be a fish.
He does run way too good to be a fish. And let's
Like,
not,
even if he's trying to be a fish, like any two cards he plays is just gold.
let's not take anything away from his skill level too, because while he does have the gambling to play just about anything, he also has the skill to extract
Oh, no,
the
yeah,
maximum
yeah,
value
yeah,
to
no.
get away when it's right.
Make no mistake, Harlan's a solid player. He just runs obscenely good too, which is a really deadly combination.
It's fantastic. Yeah, Frederick mixing it up again with Queen Jack, and Porter misses his flop, but he's going to bet, and I think this is the end of this hand. Guys, I'm going to put
yeah,
the...
right. Boom. Frederick ships it.
Oh, I thought Frederick was going to get away.
Yeah, right. Queen Jack of Diamonds, 2 overs. He's got possible backdoor flush potential.
This might actually get through.
Oh yeah.
500 more for Porter to call,
That's not
only
a sm-
800.
That's not a small value bet. I mean, that's not. If Frederick had lesson chips, Porter could almost do a little snap call here, but not with that amount.
I like that lesson chips. Like these chips are going to teach you a lesson.
Ah, I see
That's
what you
good.
did there.
I like it.
Ah.
I like it.
You're quite the wordsmith.
Frederick does, of course, have the 10s for the straight draw. He could still hit his queen and jack, running diamonds. He has a lot of equity to make a semi bluff in this spot, and it works. It gets through.
There's so many hands of Crush Porter here. Where I mean, ace. Let's just say 9x, 8x. Obviously, they're ahead. Heaven forbid he has any sort of King 9, Ace 9, 8. Ace 8, King 8. Like it's just You don't want any part of that.
I did think Frederick was getting out of the way there, but a great play by him. And again, this is how Frederick continues to impress us here in the Stones Live Cash game. And all the hours he spends watching the play.
And I feel
it
like I'm
pays off.
seeing, and I feel like I'm seeing this more and more these days in poker, just as the way poker as a game is evolving. I'm seeing a lot more players get aggressive on draws or semi bluffs because there's a higher likelihood that you can get the other player to lay it down and you just take down the pot. But even if they call, you still got plenty of outs. You know what I mean? So it's like, so you're seeing that aggressiveness really pay a little bit more these days.
I'm glad you went that route. I thought you were going to say because it'll look so cool to show your friends later on the stream.
Yeah, look at me, look how good I am. Get my good side.
3 ways to this flop. Ace, Queen, 9 misses both King 4s and Jack 8.
Both King 4s. So like, why are they in here? What happened? I blacked out.
Day's gonna take this one down. I did have an opportunity to chat with Day a little bit, because he's kind of new to the stream. I wanted to find out some of his poker history. Kind of cool. He actually, when he was 4 years old, his family used to get together for poker nights, and he used to sit behind his dad, watch him play.
Did you say 4?
4 years old.
Wow,
He started
awesome.
checking out poker, and when he was 7, 8 years old, he said his dad would get him like little penny games and teach him.
Love it.
And apparently, his dad saw a skill in him, said, "Hey, you're really good at this," and his dad took him under his wing to train him and get him better at poker. And here he is now. And I have to say, Every time I see him in a pot, it's pretty solid. And he's one of those players that he's not like textbook. He's doing something different, kind of like a person like Harlan.
That's right.
But
And
it's working.
I hope, yeah, and I hope that you do. I mean, I don't know the situation. I hope his dad's still around. If he is, I'd love. I mean, I'm sure his dad's watching. I'm sure. I mean, how
that
could
would
you
be
not
cool.
be?
Yeah, that would be
Absolutely.
great.
Yeah, get his dad in here, man. I mean, you know, the man behind the myth, right?
Right?
I love it.
The trainer extraordinaire.
You know, I got into poker a little bit later, but I did grow up playing every card game under the sun. You know,
Okay.
rummy and everything else with
Yep.
my folks. So like, every time we go on vacation, that was a staple, right? In the airport, we're playing cards. On
Right.
the plane, we're playing cards. Even like we go to Hawaii,
great.
we're at the pool, we're just playing cards.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like-
it's fantastic. It's what it should be.
Yeah. Oh God, Canadian shooter, always with the banter. We do love you. Hide all the regs, guys. Once again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, make sure you click that heart up there. Follow us. We're here with you every Monday, Wednesday, spewing cash game action. Next week, we're going to be spewing some McCormick and Friends, which should be lots of fun.
Sean McCormick and Friends is going to be a first-time show.
Yes.
And if it's popular, I mean, if he loses enough money, we'll do it every month.
I wish nothing for the best for Sean, but I know that when Lon stepped in and hosted Lon McCarran and Friends, Lon's bankroll did not go positive that
He
night.
lost everything but Chachi.
Yeah, everything but his pup, for sure. So good luck, Sean. Take a look at these stacks. Cornbread is our resident chip leader as Jake rolls over in his grave here. 3K up top
Jake's not in a grave tonight.
tonight.
Yeah.
I thought that's what he crawls out of every morning to go to work.
Jake will be here on Wednesday, though. We have a PLO, 5-5 PLO high-only game on Wednesday. 8-handed, should be a lot of fun. 4 cards, that's twice the action and twice the fun.
I feel like this is a double mint gum commercial. Like, what is this?
If there was, we'd have some hot twins.
What is this? Twins?
Yeah.
Twins, Basil, twins.
I wonder if that game's full yet. Let me take a peek.
Tank X in the house. What's going on? Surf and snowboard, Waprai, all the regs.
Guys, I have tons of room in this PLO game. I only have 2 players signed up right now.
Oh, I am not.
So I will be hitting players
can I-
up tomorrow, but I will tell you that one of our favorite PLO players will be in the game. The one, the only, a young man named The Wolf.
Oh, the wolf.
The
Yeah,
Wolf,
for sure.
Daryl Steed will be playing.
I was like the bacon of the crispy variety.
Crispy's in there as well.
Yeah,
So we got 6 seats open for Wednesday night's PLO game, and I think it's going to be a good game because a lot of players are starting to come home from the WSOP, and that's why we haven't been running PLO.
Yeah.
It's a very specific type of player, and they all go to Vegas for the WSOP.
Well, yeah, and all of them like to play those mixed games,
Yeah.
those mixed tournaments. Yeah. So Day here with Ace King. He never gave it back. He was just holding on to it for a while. Pops it up to 20 to go.
Frederick is given a lot of action tonight from the small blind with Jack 8, and
joke here.
King Flop's good.
And he instantly fires. Let's call it 45. And take it down. I pay $10 to Poker Go as well. I mean, honestly, for the amount of coverage that they have, even if you just get it for the month, right? That's awesome value.
That's why I decided to just
You know what
go
I
a
mean?
month at a time, even though I could have saved $10 by signing up for the full year with the
Yeah.
codes. I was like, I know I want it for the WSOP.
At least,
I know
yeah.
I want it for
Yeah.
that. And then after that, I mean, it's about as much as Netflix. Like, if I want to keep watching content, like I went back and started watching the High Roller Bowl from the Aria,
Absolutely.
with
Which was
Kevin
great.
Hart's there, and you can see some clips of Sean McCormick and
Oh, absolutely.
Paul Campbell in the background. So
Sean's
having a
there
lot of
running
fun, and the more friends I make in the poker industry, these things become even more fun for me to watch because you can see in the background, oh, hey, I know that guy.
It's all your buddies, dude. It's super cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, I'll probably keep it for at least another month. See what kind of content they spew out over the next month because I think this is definitely the high point for them.
Well, I heard that they're bringing back Poker After Dark,
That's cool.
so that should be pretty
That's
fun.
very cool. All right, so race to 25 by Frederick. A bunch of callers here. Jack high flop. Porter does spike top pair.
Mike does catch a 5, and he's got some running cards to a straight if he wants to get frisky. That is one of them, so it checks through. Mike picks up an extra draw. Harlan drawing dead, and Frederick, he's got chop outs. He's got win outs. Mike not ready to give up the ghost just yet. We're going heads up to the river. Getting an ace.
Bink City.
I was waiting. I thought you had like a comment, a certain catchphrase for when that happens.
Bingo bango?
Bingo bango. It's been a while. I wanted to
Nailed it.
revive it. That's a bingo bango for Mike right there.
Do I have to start? Do I have to like start trademarking these things? Do I have to like? I mean, because I have
be a
seen
good
other
idea.
streams kind of try to jog some of the nowhere flavor. You know,
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. I will say this though. Every now and then they do larger pan outs and stuff on PokerGo and everything, and they go over different rooms and kind of spread. I did definitely spot a Stones hoodie or two.
Yeah,
I did.
They were around when I was walking around in Vegas for the WSOP. I saw a lot of Stones gear out there.
Yeah.
It was very cool. I did get approached by a few people that recognized me from Stones Live, but not one person claimed the hoodie.
I know.
They were not
So
watching
you still have it
the
here?
night. I have it. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Well, we're gonna.
Hey, where are you going? Nowhere.
We're gonna do.
I want the hoodie.
You already got one.
I
and
want
we're gonna,
another one.
And we're gonna do another contest.
There's
Look
laundry
at
day.
the pocket tents go up against Ace Queen. Harlan
Will
does not
totally-
hit every hand.
Harlan's gonna get running King Jack, and you know
running
it.
King
Watch.
Jack. Boom.
Damn.
Right.
Damn. Okay.
That's a
fine,
wrap.
drawing dead. Okay. Whatever.
The thing is, when Harlan's behind, he loses the minimum. When he's
Oh, I know,
ahead,
it's so,
he gains the
extracts
maximum.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. Peter betting small enough to try and keep Harlan around 55 into a 75 pot.
Harlan, you're such an. Oh my God.
Harlan raises.
You're so sick.
And Peter
Now watch-
will re-raise. No, Peter's gonna call
Oh
and
yeah,
and
Peter.
bet.
Just call, dude. And you have position on him too. Think about it. Hollywood call. Hope some sort of bluffy card hits the river like a heart. And then, oh my God, what if you give Harlan an ace or a queen like non-heart? So sick.
Okay.
Just call, and you call Peter.
He's
Don't you,
grabbing
Peter.
for a
Peter,
raise.
don't you- Oh, you know why? He's hoping Harlan has a 5.
Yeah.
And you're so off here. That's too bad.
So that should put an end to this hand right here. But how great would it be? Peter just calls there, and then
Well,
Harlan fires that
Yeah,
river.
because he has position. That'd be so clutch because you know Harlan's going to barrel any river that comes.
Yeah.
I call there all day. He's assuming Harlan has a 5 with the check raise. That's-
So the 3-bet is up to 265. And Harlan's acting like he has a decision here, but where's Harlan going?
away.
I knew I was going to get you on that one. Yeah, Harlan's going away. Pretty sure. He announces, if you're listening to the table talk, he announces, I'm thinking about just putting it all in. But we can see his cards. We know it's a show.
I got news for you, Harlan. If you put it all in, you just push that right over to Peter. Peter would really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
Harlan, save that for your date later.
Beastor, I agree with you. If I'm Peter in this spot, I mean, I literally just flat. Because here's
Yeah.
the deal. If he does have a 5, you're going to get that same value you would have got from raising on the turn on the river anyways,
Yeah, I
especially
agree.
since you have position. So it's like, if he has a hand, great, you're going to get more money on the river. If he doesn't have a hand, great, you're probably still going to get more money on the river.
I think Peter's play style is from the school of thought that you never know if you're going to be able to get another bet out of somebody on a later street, so you try and get all the value as much as possible. But if he's looking ahead on this game, his hand is so strong, and like you said, Harlan could have a 5. I do think the optimal play is just to flat call there after Harlan shows aggression, because Harlan's firing the river for sure.
Yeah, no,
no
like-
matter what.
And heaven forbid if Harlan actually binks an ace or a queen,
Oh, yeah.
you're going to, you're going straight to Value Town,
Value
baby.
Town, I
You're
like
cruising to
Value Town. I
It's
haven't
great.
been there in a while.
I drove by there. I tried to go to Value Town, but apparently I was in Whiff City. I didn't even know.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm like, here, let me. But my guy I was with though, like he was in Value Town. I was giving
Oh.
my money to him.
Oh,
I didn't know.
Oh, so he just gives it back to you later.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I was actually
He's like, no.
I was in Empty Pocket Broke City, and he was in Value Town. I thought we
Like
were
the
next to each
Monopoly
other.
guy?
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah. Yes, Hebrew Hammer, what's going on? Oh, Hebrew Hammer. This is a max stakes buy-in here. You can table max whatever anybody else has in front of them.
Steaks.
Delicious.
So Porter 3-bets to 75 with 9s, and everyone gets out of the way so far except Cornbread with a parking lot hand. No one wants to
And
see a
says, I
flop
don't want to go
here.
to that parking lot hand. CML916, hey, is there anything that would block my laptop from viewing after I beat on my phone? Not that I know of.
I mean, if you have something in front of your laptop, it'll block it. Yeah.
I really, I feel like I need a roll-up newspaper to hit you for
I'm
that
trying to
joke.
answer his question.
I just
no,
say it.
no, guys. You can once. I mean, you don't.
You can view from
It
multiple
wouldn't even
sources.
say, yeah, you can view from multiple sources. We're free, so
I've
it's
had
not
my
even like we would
iPad.
limit the devices you could
No,
go to.
I've had my iPad, my TV going at the same time. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it should be no problem, guys. To check if you have Comcast internet, that could be the problem. I'm going internetless now.
Okay. Webless?
Well,
would you do
not
that?
not webless. Like I have my unlimited plan, my Verizon plan on my phone, but I canceled my Comcast hardline mostly because I absolutely hate Comcast.
Yeah, it's called ComCrap.
Yeah.
First off,
Yeah.
and the thing with Comcast is they will raise your rate religiously, like every couple months. So you have to call up and you have to hit them on the head with a newspaper and then go back. All right, so
That's
this
your
is-
move. That's your
Oh,
move.
dude, that's a lot. How many people have already tried to hit with newspapers here? It was quick. So top pair for Frederick here. Harlan's going to keep barreling.
Harlan is a
Check call
scary,
mode.
scary player to play against because it doesn't matter what he has, he's putting pressure on you. 8 comes out. It does give Harlan an inside straight draw. Looking for the 6, and Harlan goes all in here.
Wow.
Putting maximum pressure
Man,
on
that's
Frederick.
Sick.
1K all in,
Wow.
and it's
that's
going to take
sick.
it.
And you know what? Like, I can't even blame Frederick for folding. The way that hand was
No.
played, there's so many hands that beat him.
I mean, Frederick's not that strong. His hand's not that strong in that situation anyways.
So I know obviously it looks like, hey, why the ridiculous overbet from Harlan with $1,300? But Frederick has what, like 400 or 500 in front of him, 400 in front of him.
Yeah,
or
so
something.
he's not really betting at all.
Yeah, he was clearly, he was jamming less than you thinking of that pot. But yeah, still kind of an awkward bet. Harlan really likes to exploit suited boards, 4-card suited boards and 4-card straighted boards. People play weird when you get 4 linked up cards in a row, or you get 4, whether they be suited or whether they form a 4-card straight. People really start to second guess themselves, second guess their hand, and good players can exploit that really well. I saw a prime example that just day one earlier, Negreanu, he got 2 players to throw away crushing hands compared to what he had. He had absolutely air, but it flopped all diamonds. And people are like, oh my god, I'm scared, I don't know what I'm doing, run. It's like,
Well, that's like players like him know how to capitalize on those situations. Peter flops a flush draw here, and he's in pretty good shape. It does check around. 10 will hit Mailman. And now Peter's going to decide to take some action at this pot, give Day a chance to get out of the way. Mailman does not check out just yet. Now, does he call here, or does he just raise? Folding is not an option, right?
no. Well, I mean, not for mailman.
Just a call. All right, 6s will get out of the way, and we're heads up. The river is a brick for Peter. Mailman has the best hand, but Peter could take this pot away if he wants to stay aggressive here. He chooses not to, and that pretty much means this pot's going to Mailman.
I wouldn't be surprised to see mailman. I don't know if he puts Peter. Yeah,
I expected him to check
Yeah,
there,
just check
too.
for showdown value, right? Because I mean, here's the deal: any hand that's going to call you is most likely going to beat you. I don't think you're going to pop Peter off a king there, especially a player like Peter. So at the end of the day, it's good to just check for showdown value and hope you're good.
Hebrew Hammer in the chat room wants to know if the picture of Peter's from the 80s. It might be. I don't know. We use what they send us. As you can see, we have
It's
a
his
picture
current,
of...
it's his current dating profile pic.
I was just about to say, as you can see for Harlan, we have a picture of his crotch. It would have been so perfect if you said that's his current dating profile picture.
Oh, I missed the opportunity. I should have just waited like 1 split sec.
Awesome. Take says that Peter's saving all his money for a salad later. That's why he didn't bet. He already had a salad tank. There was an over-under bet, and Justin Kelly killed the over-under bet tonight on
No
the
less
salad.
than 11 minutes into the stream.
11
Shit.
minutes in. Look at that flop. Ace, king, queen. Day's the only one that connects. Mike R. and Harlan both with inside straight draws to the jack, but not going to be much action on this hand, guys. Frederick does bet 80 here, and check this out. With 4-5 suited, Frederick fires 80 into this pot and scoops.
Because why not?
He took a little lesson from Harlan, it looks like.
When in doubt, just fire and you win every time.
What? Rick and Barstow? Who am I texting later? Rick and Barstow's pimping me out. I'll put it in there though, guys. Remember, I do have a couple of seats available for the 5-5 PLO high game this Wednesday. Jake Rosensteel will be hosting that. My absolute favorite Stones Live commentator for PLO. His PLO
I'm really glad you
analysis
specified for PLO.
is amazing.
It's almost too
Who
fast.
does PLO better than Jake?
It's almost too fast. He recognizes like, okay, well this guy's got like 19 outs and a wraparound, blah 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 blah
right.
blah, and you're like,
he's like the Rain Man of PLO.
I'm still looking at the first hand.
It's like,
and I'm like,
definitely not my Kmart underwear. Definitely.
384 toothpicks. You know. All right, so Porter here with Ace King. God, Ace King's getting around, and when it does, it brings a friend. So Porter and Harlan both with Ace King. 6-8-9 on the flop. 2 pair for Cornbread.
Wow,
Way
nice
out in
job,
front
Cornbread.
here. Way out in front.
And now we have been seeing these guys get really frisky with Ace King. Let's see if Porter gets away. The pot's not big enough here, so these Ace Kings get out of the way really quick.
We're not going to have a double air barrel Ace King all the way down chop pot like we did before.
No, not on this hand. Cornbread will scoop that right on the flop.
Once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, taking a look at those chip stacks around the table, the reds are $5 chips, the greens are $25 chips, and I think that's about it. And the blues are $1 chips. I don't think we have any whites in play, yeah?
No, but they are allowed on this table. I don't see any just yet. Just a reminder, guys, if the game looks nice and juicy to you and you want to get on the list, you can actually get on this list with actually not even having to talk to a human being. We have the Stones app. It's free in the Google Play and iTunes Store. Download it.
It's called the App Store.
You register. Which one is?
It's called the App Store.
The iTunes, yeah.
God, you're the worst.
You register your player's account, and you can simply just jump onto the poker wait list. You'll see I have all the games that are going there. Click the little button, hit submit. Your name goes right up on the board, and no human contact necessary.
Good, yeah, and we hate human contact, especially if we're here to play poker live.
Especially.
So, Porter flopped a bit of a beastie here. 2 overs and a straight draw. Connects with his queen on the turn. Mailman calls, comes along. Mailman bet 50, I'm sorry, on the turn. Porter calls. River is Brick City. Porter.
Mailman playing a little more passively so far in this game than I'm used to seeing him play. But I also have noticed that Mailman tends to spend a lot of time analyzing his table and establishing his image before he starts making any big moves in the game.
And I was going to talk about establishing his image as well, because Mailman's the type of player where he'll play passively now, but when it matters, he'll reach in and he'll steal that super large pot, and that's what's clutch. You know what I mean? Like, so play passive now, and then come on in there and swing the big stick later, and you're good.
Yeah. Walk softly and swing a big stick. That's what I always say.
My life motto.
So this was kind of impromptu. It was supposed to be you and Veronica tonight. So I'm kind of curious if you're prepared for an Urban Dictionary word, or if we're just not going to do it tonight.
Well, it's your call. Oh, Larson's already saying, how about Sacramento Big Stick? That should be
Is it a thing?
Urban Dictionary
Look
word.
it up.
Should be.
Let's see if it's in there.
If it is, that's hands down our word.
Hands down.
I doubt it, but we're not that lucky. We don't run that good. If I was Harlan, that would be a word.
No, this is kind of last minute. I was supposed to be out doing something else this evening. And
Stalking
I'm Veronica
people from the
tonight.
bushes.
Now, Mike R. flops trip sevens. He's going to choose to check it here. We're around to Peter. Unfortunately for Mike R., no one's hit much, but checking is a wise move because now maybe he can get Day to come along with his ace. Check again. Day's going to fire about half the pot size, 30 going in. Wapri has a suggestion, too.
I will look at your suggestion. Oh, wow.
And a 7 on the river quads Mike up. Also dangerous for Day as he probably now believes he has the best full house.
Sick, right?
50 to go. Mike's going to raise.
It is sick because you're not worried about pocket kings. You're not worried about aces, obviously.
You're hoping they have
the only
those.
one card, one hand that beats you is a 7. That's it.
Pretty gross. And the raise is to 275. Hopefully Day is intuitive enough here just to call. Now, when I was talking to Day, I was talking with Day. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
I was talking
It's
with
rough.
Day earlier, and he does just call, which I think is the best he could have done here. He was telling me that he believes that the strongest part of his game and the part that his father recognized when he was learning to play was his ability to read his opponents. I would venture to say that in this hand, Day knew that he was probably behind, but there's no way he could lay down to that raise, being as he has, it's not even second best, but it's a strong hand. On a board like that, you definitely don't expect someone's going to have the 7, and you're really only worried about if someone has the 2 remaining aces for pocket aces or any other pairs.
And
on
that
the
does
board.
put you in one of those peculiar situations where somebody makes a large bet and you're essentially calling the chop. It sucks.
Yeah.
However, we've seen Day and Cornbread get involved in the huge call to chop thing back and forth with Ace King. So
With just ace king.
yeah, exactly.
So one thing I've noticed about Tom, he doesn't get into a lot of pots. He seems to be on the tighter end of the spectrum of players. We are heads up here. Mailman ace jack, Frederick ace 4. Frederick hits top pair on a 4 high flop, and he's going to go ahead and bet 30 into a $50 pot. Eric going to float. Looks like maybe 35. Make a correction there.
And of course, we're going to 4-card straight that board here. Everybody hates it.
Now,
Everybody's scared of the 5.
It does go check. This ace here
Oh,
could hang
God, it's
Mailman.
sick.
He sticks 20 out. Frederick calls,
just
shows
call.
2 pair. A pretty rough board with spades getting there, a straighted board, but Frederick's 2 pair is good. They kind of played it pretty light, I think.
How about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
There was no Sacramento big stick in there?
No, there wasn't, but it said you can create a definition if you'd like.
Let's do it. What would the definition be?
Oh God, I don't know if we can utter that on the air.
Maybe our viewers could come up with the definition for Sacramento big stick.
Yeah, if you guys have any special Sacramento Urban Dictionary terms you want, guys, go in there, create them. Maybe something involving stones or poker would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not involving stones. How about just poker in general? And,
Yeah, let's
and then,
stick with that.
And then we can use them on the show. But we do have tonight's that we'll get here in a few hands.
And if you see the camera shaking there, that's not an earthquake. We're just adjusting the camera so that seat 3 is not cut off by the graphics.
And
Should look better
and
now.
consequently, there is actually also an earthquake.
Oh, then moving the camera, it should have evened it out.
No, yeah, we're totally good now. Don't worry about it.
Pretty fun game so far, though. Frederick is opening up for 15 here. We haven't seen his cards yet. I apologize. Mailman actually opened 15. Frederick calls. Waiting to catch up and see the cards here. There we go. Mailman with ace 4 does hit a 4. And Frederick with queen 5 has hit his queen. And turn card comes out is a 9. Doesn't change anything. Frederick's still in the lead. 75 for Mailman. Frederick calls. Last card is the 4 of spades. The flush draw completes. Mailman gonna fire at this one more time. He does hit the 4 on the river, and he makes a sizable bet of 175.
What?
Frederick will call, and Mailman will take it down. It's a rough beat. I mean, Frederick is good the whole way until the river, and he shows his
Yeah,
queen.
yeah,
he shows his bad luck. What do you think
that's
about
rough.
showing there?
Showing the queen?
Just showing like how unlucky you got. Do you think it helps anything for your table image? Like,
I don't
'cause-
think it really matters. I think you know. So, I mean, Frederick was firing down, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, showing that you had the queen, you got rivered. I don't fault that. I don't have a problem with that.
Wait, I mean not folding it. I'm saying showing the
No,
card.
no, I don't fault showing it.
Because I always thought it's just better never to show, but I noticed a lot of players in that situation where they're good the whole way, get an unlucky river, that they want to show what they're folding. Like it makes them feel, I think it makes them feel better to show, oh, hey, look, I was at least ahead of you the whole way
Yeah.
and I got unlucky. But do you think there's any negative aspect to showing a card ever? Because in my opinion, I think you never show any cards.
Oh no, this, sometimes there is definitely a negative aspect. However, in that particular case, I'm
think so?
totally no. I'm okay with that. I mean, that's my way of.
But of a player like
that's my
Mailman-
way. That's my way of looking at you when I say nice hand, and really meaning you're an asshole and you got super lucky.
Yeah.
That's what that means. I mean,
I
you know.
always thought the translation for nice hand was douchebag donkey.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually interchangeable at this point, really.
2 clubs hit this flop. Day has a flush draw, and Mailman is flop best right now with ace jack. And it looks like we're going to end up 3 ways. I think Porter stayed in. The third club comes, and now Day's in really good shape. No one else with the club. It is showing that they're able to catch up here. I'm trying to figure out how real quick. I don't see it. I think Day has a lock right now. Am I missing something? Oh, because the board's paired. My apologies. The board's paired. A queen would take it home for Porter. An ace takes it home for Mailman, or an additional 3 for either one of those guys. Otherwise, Day is good.
Another
with the
3 would
club
be gnarly.
crush. It would be pretty sick. So Day is going to put a little pressure on here. Oh, I apologize. Day is calling Porter's bet, and Eric gets out of the way. Talk about intuition.
Another club. Now, this is not a card Day likes to see.
No.
There's actually now, what, King, Jack. There's 2 clubs that beat him now.
Couple cards that beat him.
And if he had any sort of
Oh,
king,
and
the problem
Porter.
is, if he has any sort of ace or queen with any king jack kicker that is a club, Day hates
Porter's
this.
just sick enough to fire $400 or $500 into this pot.
450 into 545.
Oh my God.
This would just this.
Look at Day.
Day doesn't want to just snap call this and be like,
Oh.
oh, I'm unlucky. He's gonna think about it for a minute.
This bet could work. We have the split screen. Look at Porter keeping it cool. Very calm and collected. Day stacking up his chips. Looking at that river going, really? Really?
Yeah, that's sick. And this would be this would be so sick here. Split screen in full effect here. Now you can hear
Oh,
Porter
man.
talking a little bit. I mean, he's putting the screws on Day here, man. This is not an easy call. I hate it because, like I
this-
said, if he had any sort of ace or queen with any king jack kicker, it's so easy for him to have any sort of queen jack, queen king, ace jack in his range with the club. That sucks.
Go Porter. Day has been put in a really tough spot, and this is the one thing that I've always heard good poker players tell me. They say you do not want to be the one that has the tough decision. You want to be the one making other people make a tough decision, and that's exactly what Porter has done in this hand. He has put the difficult decision to Day. Towards Day.
Great play by Porter. If this got through and Day folded, I almost couldn't even fault Day. I think Day's in calling posture here, and he's probably just going to make a go for it.
He is stacking chips.
He's just checking it out because that's literally about half a stack. A 450, that leaves him with 550 behind.
Oh, he asked Porter to move his hand so he can see his chips. Dave, Porter does have you covered. If you stick it all in and he calls you and you're good, you will get doubled up.
I hate
How could he raise here?
No. I'm gonna raise you because the only hand that's ever calling you beats you here.
This is
There's
just
no way you ever raise
This is
here.
just posturing on Dave's part.
Good
There you
call.
go. Just a
Great
call.
by Day.
Excellent call.
I
Dave.
want to hear the commentary here because I think he was pretty close to folding.
Let's listen in. Dave says, let's see it. He wants to know what Porter had. Porter does not want to show. However, now that the delay's caught up, Dave can just look right up on the screens and see what it was. And Porter not wanting to sit there and talk about what he was doing, especially when he's making a bluff like that. He doesn't want to give away his capabilities, right? Because it weakens his ability in the future to pull him off again.
That was a great call by Day. I mean, and he wasn't posturing. He had some decisions to make. You had to think about that right there.
Yeah, Porter's bet, phenomenal. And of course, anyone that's saying, hey, Porter shouldn't have made a bluff there, without the backup outs, or he didn't have a club in his hand or anything like that, you know what, you'd be calling him a genius if it gets through.
Of course.
And
I'd actually like to know how close Day was to folding, because I bet
probably pretty
he
close.
was relatively close to folding.
Let's see, if we get an opportunity towards the end of the stream, maybe we can bring him in and talk about that hand.
Yeah.
I'd love to get his thoughts.
It was a great bet by Porter. I mean, he really put the screws to him, man. He's like, you're gonna have to work for this pot, dude. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
All right, guys, real quick, we're gonna go over a little. What do you think? Urban Dictionary time. What do you think?
Why not?
All right, guys. So Urban Dictionary time. Here's what's going down, guys. As you know, when you have the Justin Squared show, essentially we do a little thing called Urban Dictionary. Rules are simple. This is just a little fun thing for all of us, all of you. It kind of started on the whim, and so we've been doing this now. This will be number 13 in the books.
Really, number 13, lucky 13.
Lucky number 13, my favorite hotel floor. So real quick, guys, feel free to look it up. It is fun. It's always interesting. Most of the time, disgusting.
But
Just post the description in the chat, or you will get a little 5-minute timeout. So anyways, tonight's Urban Dictionary term, without further ado, is Sacramento Willie. Sacramento Willie. And that wraps up number 13. Solid.
That's pretty exciting.
Cheers.
We did it.
Done. Woohoo! 13 in the books. 100 more to go. All right, Mailman here. So Cornbread pops it up $20 with King Jack. Mailman 3 bets to 65.
Swing and a miss for Cornbread. Mailman still best with his pocket nines. Over on the board.
Just one over for him out there.
Does go check, check.
10 peels off now. This actually gives both of them a straight draw. Cornbread with a little bit better straight draw with open-ended. If a 9 comes, it'd just be a weird, sick river.
It would be pretty sick. No 9 on the river. Mailman's 9s are still good with 2 overs on the board. Let's see how he plays out of position, checking. And can Cornbread fire here? And can he fire anything that Mailman will lay down to? It's 100, maybe 25, 125. Into a pot of about 325. He's given him
325 before that. So
4 to 1 to call with 9s and 2 overs on the board. Do you call here?
This is going to be more of a field call. Mailman's going to replay the entire way the hand played out.
Pre-flop, we have a 3-bet from Mailman with his 9s. Check, check on the
Now
flop.
they both check the flop, and I think that's a good call. That's a good call. Because I think that if Cornbread had any piece of that flop, he's going to bet it behind
He
him on the
never
flop.
shows any aggressive action. He checks and calls the whole way and then fires the river.
I think when Mailman 3-bets Cornbread, and then Mailman checks the flop, if Cornbread has any of that on the flop, he bets it.
And the river being a really unimpressive card,
Yeah.
It just makes the bluff from Cornbread there last act. It looks funny,
Yeah, it's
right?
it's a good call by Mailman. So the thing about poker is this: when and I think we've all fallen victim to this at one point or another. You know, you see a random river card and you're like, oh, I can make a bluff here, right? The thing is you're telling a story.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so, if all of a sudden the narrative on your story changes to like, oh, I totally had hearts, they went running hearts, like, just believe me, like, you have to kind of like think how the entire hand played out, like, okay, well, he did 3-bet me pre-flop, so his range could kind of be isolated to this, and then the hand progressed this, he bet here, just called here, checked here. You really have to sell the story from start to finish. So if you just
Yeah.
want to like change your hand at the end, that's a really, really, really rough
Which it
maneuver.
is kind of what happened in that
And
hand.
it's not really
Yeah.
going to necessarily work a lot of the time against a seasoned player like Mailman. Twinkies 22, that was actually Sacramento Willie from Urban Dictionary, actually. Cornbread waking up with kings here. Is this another bomb pot? I think so.
Dealer change, yes. So they're doing a bomb pot on the dealer change, but it looks like only 7 of the 9 players are doing it.
Okay, so for those of you guys just tuning in, what's going on is every time we change dealers, all of the players are doing a $50 bomb pot where they all throw in $50, they all catch a flop, and then they play it post-flop, which is crazy because you can't isolate anybody on a range. Did Cornbread even show his kings?
They still held up.
I know, but I would wait. Come on, in a bomb pot, when you're running that lucky, I would definitely.
We just had this talk.
It's a bomb pot.
We just had this
It's a
talk.
bomb pot.
You don't show.
I hate your face.
So Kings with a rare win in Sacramento. See what I did there?
I see. We know Sacramento Kings. Ah, ha, ha. You guys are so funny.
They're actually pretty good, aren't they? They're like one of the best hockey teams in the league now.
Oh my God! They get the ball in the goal and they do the thingy and they make the points. God, we're the worst. We're the worst.
But actually, Stones has some house tickets for the Sacramento Kings.
You've
and
teased me about this for years and you've still never gone. So thanks for that. Appreciate it.
I would take you, but I promised someone else first.
I bet she's adorable.
She is.
Tell her I said hi.
How'd you know it was a she?
Yeah, I know. I'm not surprised. All right, so Cornbread waking up with Ace King Peter, slightly outnotched for the Ace Queen here. Aces are cheap. Frederick also with an Ace. Harlan with King 10 suited. Oh my God!
Wow.
Top 2 for Harlan because Harlan runs so good.
Hi, my name is Harlan. I hit every hand.
Meanwhile, I couldn't hit water if I fell out of a boat. So that's exciting. So top for Cornbread. This is going to see some fireworks here between Cornbread
I like
and Harlan.
Harlan's getup tonight. Is cool.
Dude,
He's
he
all in
is-
white. He's like
he's
a
such
virgin.
stealthy ninja. I just feel like I want like some random spaghetti sauce or like cranberry juice to spill on it. I don't know,
Yes.
it's the worst of me.
King 10 flops 2 pair. Peter's out of the way. Cornbread with ace king is in a tough position.
And the
here.
min raise, and God bless the min raise. It's so weird. It's so polarized. You're like, do you not think I have anything?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised actually with a min raise to see Cornbread click back here. Maybe because Harlan could do that with like a straight draw flush draw too.
Harlan could do it with king deuce.
Harlan could do it with anything. So
That is the danger that is Harlan as a poker player.
Cornbread's it looks like he's stacking out chips for a 3-bet, and this is sick because that's exactly what Harlan wants.
So here is the question that we had in the hand with Peter earlier. Does Harlan just call here now? The difference in this hand and the other hand now is that Harlan is out of position.
Well, the other thing is this, right? So he 3-bets to 445 because does Harlan have position here?
Harlan's out of position.
Out of position. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's tough because it's 315 more to call. That's about a third of his stack. I don't think he's putting Cornbread on a flush draw here, and I think Cornbread's representing a fairly strong hand, and Harlan's going
Nowhere.
So, does he click back here or not? He could go either way. I think he's probably going to click back here.
This board, I mean, it does have a flush draw. It has some potential to be playing against open-ended straight draws. I think Harlan's wise playing out of position to try and get his chips in on this flop because he's also likely to get a call on the flop.
Well, and here's the deal. I think he's going to ship it no matter what on the turn. But if a card like a jack or queen of clubs comes on the turn, it's so scary for Cornbread, and he might actually get away from it.
Yep.
Where he could extract max value right here. I think if I'm in this position and Cornbread's representing this kind of strength, I think I ship it here from Harlan.
Yeah. I think it's the best play, and I think knowing Harlan's tendency, it's likely what we're going to see here. Now, Cornbread does have Harlan covered by a large margin, so if Harlan shoves and gets called here, it could be a double up for him. And Harlan acting like he's going to fold. Harlan lets it
That didn't just
go.
happen. Did that happen? That didn't happen. There's no way that happened. There's no way that happened.
I'm shocked.
I'm
thinking
I don't
Harlan's
even
thinking
know.
about how to extract the most money, and he lets it go.
I don't even know what just happened right there. Because you have all of his blocked hands.
Any chance that Harlan's cards are reading wrong?
I don't know. Can we get confirmation? I don't think Harlan
Oh
ever
my
folds
God.
Because the chances of him having king 10 as a blocker, he doesn't have kings, he doesn't have 10s. There's no way. There's no way. And the chat goes crazy.
Wow.
This chat goes crazy. Everybody's keyboard is stuck with the letters WTF in the chat.
Confirmed with the production booth, Harlan made an announcement on making a really tight laydown, but he believed that he was beat and folded king 10. They said that the cards are reading properly. That was not an error on our end.
Here's the problem: is because he has a king and a 10, it's top 2 pair. It's super highly unlikely
Wow.
that the other player has a set of kings or 10s. So even if they have a lower set, that just might be the run of the beast. So be it. That's the only hand you could put him on that you fold there. That's the
Look
only
at
hand
this.
you put him
In
on.
the chat room, Bing Bong, Yoka Bing Bong, great name by the way, says Harlan is a nit. You don't even know, dude. You don't even know. Harlan is a beast.
Wow. God.
Here, I can prove Harlan's a beast. Check out this link. Check out that link I just put in there, and you're going to see Harlan in beast mode. This was so uncharacteristic of him. I thought his cards were reading wrong.
Oh my God, CW Siggy says even Vanessa felt good. Can I get a slow clap for CW?
Wow.
Siggy there? Fantastic. Holy jeez.
Oh my
On to
God.
the next hand, lots of 7s for Tom, and a boat picks up on the turn here, and this gives Harlan a straight draw, but yet Harlan's going to be involved in this pot here where he's drawing dead against Tom. Let's see. And Waprai is chiming in. Harlan did win about 40K last week. Good God. Absolutely insane. And he's going to make the call. Drawing dead here. 5 on the turn. At least that's not any sort of action card for Harlan that's going to get him involved deeper.
I'm blown away. I did not see that coming. I would love to get inside Harlan's mind and figure out what's he thinking here.
Yeah, I don't
Is
that
he
was-
thinking Cornbread's like a super solid player and never plays anything but the nuts?
That's one of those things where like it doesn't even matter because it's top 2. It's not like it's bottom 2 or anything, right? I mean, it's top 2. Even if he has bottom set, you still have 4 outs. I mean, it'd be unfortunate, but you know, crap happens, right? I mean, yeah.
Shout out from Leo.
Sean McCormick says Harlan is re-invited to Sean and Friends.
Nice. Real quick, guys, shout out from Leo from Malaysia is watching the stream right now. Remember we had him on last year.
Absolutely cool.
Just sent me a text saying he loves that we're still on. He's enjoying the broadcast. He wants to give us a huge shout out, and I believe he is. I believe Leo's making another visit to the U.S. We would love to have you back on, Leo.
Awesome.
And thank you for hitting me up on my cell phone. I'll text you back after the show. Love that he's still a fan of the show and
Super
watching.
cool.
And he asked if I remembered him. Of course we remember
We're
you.
international.
We bring up Leo all the time. He was our first international player on the live stream.
Which
so
brings up another, guys. I know we have a lot of you chiming in here from the Twitch front page. If you guys are poker players, poker lovers, if you guys are ever in the greater Sacramento area, come by, stop by, hang out, say you saw us online, hop in the game. And if you guys like to play and you guys think, hey, I can outplay Harlan, I mean, he just folded top 2.
folded top 2.
So then come on down, click that heart, follow us. We're here with you every Monday and Wednesday spewing cash game action.
I love that Leo watching from Malaysia is watching on his lunch breaks while we're
Yeah.
like in our evening. Like,
Yeah.
how cool is that?
I'm like gonna go to bed in a few hours. He's just like, I'm eating cornflakes.
Not cornbread.
No. Cornbread's just eating Harlan.
I'm gonna have to. I want to go back and watch that hand later because that hand was so great.
So Harlan fires out 30 here. Mike's gonna call. And an ace
Wow.
deals. I think Harlan barked deuce.
I love it.
Ace queen for everybody here, and the ace does get there. So let's see how this plays out. So Mike Arbet's 35, Frederick calls, Harlan gets away, and they table that.
Maybe Harlan threw that hand away so he could play on the Sean and Friends board.
Maybe it's all
right?
part of the
We
super.
didn't think about
He's
that.
playing the super long
The
game right now.
long game.
Long game.
So ace queen and ace queen will chop this pot, guys.
So what fun tournaments do we have going up? I know we got, well, actually, what fun promos? I know we have tell me about the $1 million thing. Show me.
The $1 million thing's gonna be pretty cool. We got a drawing coming up on the 15th. That's the second of 3 drawings. Basically, you're earning tickets in the limit game to get selected in a drawing to play in a single table limit tournament where the top 4 will have an opportunity to play a second game to win $1 million. It is about a 1 in 6,000 shot if you get into the top 4 to win the million. But the worst you can do, $3,000 if you're selected for that.
Yeah, super cool. And then, yeah, I mean, even if you make it to the final, even if you just get drawn to play in
Yeah,
the
you're gonna get
tournament,
$1,000.
you get $1,000.
$1,000. So it's a great promotion. If we have any limit players out there, it's definitely one you guys do not want to miss. And Day with Ace Queen. Mailman is coming along in this pot with the King Jack. Porter Ace 9 is suited. Tom still not playing any hands. And we're going 5 ways to this flop, guys. Ace 4-5. Nice one. Jinx.
Boom.
Day hitting his ace is going to bet it out.
Fantastic. Kind of a coordinated, scary board coming. Nobody's got any part of the low end here.
And Day locks it up on the turn with the queen hitting. Check mark for Day. I think check mark on the table too. He should be checking here.
I'm still in like shocked mode that Harlan folded top 2 there.
I don't even understand what
like,
happened.
I blacked out.
I seriously, it's hard for me to believe that the readers are working right, but they were. That was his real hand.
So they say.
So the German Shepherds would have
Tricky,
you believe.
tricky NSA. So Ace Queen was already ahead. The best already improves.
Called by pocket 7 and ace 7 more. All clubs.
I'm just putting in a reminder on my phone here to pick up the Oculus Rift on sale. It's like a couple $100 off, man. I'll tell you, some of that VR stuff's a lot of fun.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah. I mean, I always thought it was kind of gimmicky until I actually tried it.
That's pretty cool.
And then I was like, whoa.
I'm playing the Dead Zone right now on it. It's like a zombie shooter. It's just amazing.
Do you have it on your PlayStation or whatever?
No, I just use it on the Samsung.
Oh, on your phone? Huh?
I have a
All right,
Samsung
Baller.
here.
All right, Baller.
I don't know if you noticed this, but I have the new S8.
Yeah, and you can't change batteries anymore, so shut your mouth. Oh my god, I'm sorry. That's the worst. Okay, so Day is going to fire 330 here with top 2. And putting Porter to a choice here. Now, if for those of you just tuning in, Day and Porter had a little bit of wicked action back and forth earlier, where Day had a flush, then the board 4 card flushed out, Porter had nothing, and made a sizable $450 pot size bet. and forced Day to a decision to call it. And he did.
I thought Porter was going to fold here. Porter's intuition is top notch. Hey guys, if you're just checking us out for the first time, or this is not your first time watching Stones Live Poker and you have not done so yet, there's a little heart right there.
in that
Little straight
in that region
up.
over there. Okay.
Looking down. Okay, there's a little heart. Click it. Become part of our family, guys. We just reached 5,000 followers. We're trying to build our community up. We want poker lovers or people looking to get into poker. Stones Live is not like the other poker streams. We are always 100% free to you because our goal is to be a good ambassador for the game and to introduce the game to people that don't know anything about it.
Yeah, and we encourage you guys to chat in our chat there. Our viewers, I love our viewers. We have some really, really interactive chat guys.
Best.
They end up
Yeah.
picking up a lot of verbal tells. They end up picking up body cues and tells there. Our viewers are great.
They
We
even
have a lot of
sometimes
rigs.
pick up body shots.
It's true. Very true.
Very diverse group. And guys, we appreciate you being here with us tonight.
And we got some fun celeb games coming up too.
Yeah, and as soon as Bob pops back into the booth, he's going to flash some of those up in between hands, give us an opportunity to talk to you guys about those. We are about 10 miles north of Sacramento in a
Absolutely.
beautiful little suburb called Citrus Heights. Stones Gambling Hall. You may have heard of us. We are the best card room in California.
It's right off Highway 80 straight up. If you have Highway 80 anywhere near you in the United States, it is the same one.
It's
Get
the same
on it.
one.
You will
There's
see
only
us.
one. Yeah.
Crafty Geek, we invite you to come play, buddy. Download our Stones Gambling Hall app. It is completely free on both the Apple and the Android platform. You can see what games we have running. You can sign up remotely. It's really cool.
Check out this flop. Queen 3-3, 2 spades. Harlan with the nut spade draw. Day and Frederick with pocket pairs. Should be an interesting hand. Harlan putting in a lot more than 180, it looks like. I believe Harlan just raised there with the nut flush draw.
Yeah, Poker
Am I
Sniper-
mistaken? No, he did raise,
yeah.
right? Oh, just a call. Okay.
Oh, look at that. And Harlan
Wow.
even improves now even better. Porter is, yeah, he's going to be running away.
Yeah, not much Porter can do with this hand here.
Porter jams all in for a
see,
bluff.
Porter went all in.
Yeah, and Harlan just snap calls,
Okay.
and you can't blame him there. Poker Sniper brings up the Vanessa Selps thing. Yeah, we saw that. Absolutely brutal. I saw that replayed earlier today when I was watching Poker Go, and it's so sick. I mean, and it was just sick. For those of you who missed it, I think it was what? It was ace 7-7, 2 unders on the board, and it was pocket aces versus pocket sevens.
Yeah.
On the river, and she's just like, and the sick part is she's talking through it, and she's like, would you go all in? Would you jam all in with ace 7? And I think the answer is yes there too. And so it's like, I mean, it's literal nut to second nut, and that's
So
the way.
sick.
That's the only way you're going to get a player like that to go out of the main, especially on day one. It doesn't happen like that, you know. That's rough.
If you follow Matt Savage on Facebook or Twitter, he also played the main event and went out to a full house versus quads.
Yeah.
A pretty sick situation to lose a $10,000 buy-in too.
I was going to say, I feel that most of the time when you have solid poker players who bust out of the main, you know, you hear these wicked, horrendous bad beat stories, and that's pretty much why. Because almost everybody's goal on day one is just survive,
Yeah.
right?
I paid
And so-
$10,000. I want to at least go to day two.
You know, so it's like you don't get a lot of these super bloated pots right off the bat. The only time you get those is if it's just complete deck setup.
Frederick is looks like all in with pocket sixes for $235.
It's more likely he's got a queen.
I don't know how the hand played out, but I heard about a hand like it was kings versus ace queen. Nice. It was like kings versus ace queen, and the flop comes king deuce deuce, running deuce deuce and ace high wins. Crap like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you hear about, and I'm like,
That's
You're like, I
disgusting.
just threw up a little bit.
That's pretty disgusting. Does Cornbread gamble here? Nope. Frederick gonna scoop a small pot, and now I think Frederick kind of just in screw it mode, gonna try and get a double up and get back in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So take a look at these chip stacks here. Cornbread is our resident big dog up there with 3,200. Frederick, as you can see on the short stack, just looking to ship it and double up. He's in what I call Operation CDU, complimentary double up mode. There
So
it
check
is.
this out. Yeah, there's what you were talking about earlier. That is the $1 million limit hold'em event. You come in, you play limit hold'em, you get tickets every time you make the full house or better. Those tickets go into a cash drawing, and you also have an opportunity to win a seat to a single table sit and go tournament where the top 4 will get to play the $1 million game, an opportunity to win $1 million here at Stones. We're going to be live streaming that on August 12th.
Which is really cool, which means, guys, when you click that heart and you follow us, make sure you click that notification button, because we have our regular schedules Monday and Wednesday for cash game action all over the place. But then outside of that, when we do these special tournaments or bigger series of tournaments, you never know. We just go live whenever the final table happens.
Yeah, it's not a scheduled time.
Then you get a notification that way. Oh, look at that. Porter back in the swing of things.
Happy birthday to Porter.
He is solid right here. 9 is a board pair. Now look at this. Cornbread does turn trips.
He has an opportunity to hit a 9, a queen, a 10, or an ace. It's drawing pretty thin, but there is a chance.
Low-Tax Spider Gut says poker only, right? We do have poker only. However, we are mixing up the different limits and style. I know we're going to have a 100-200 limit game coming up, right?
Yes, correct.
And we also have, you said Pot Limit Omaha this Wednesday.
2 days from now, PLO high. It's 8-handed. Every other month, we also do a PLO high-low, which is just insanity.
Nice. Absolutely.
Next Wednesday, Sean McCormick from the ARIA joins us to host our new game, Sean and Friends.
Nice.
And the following Wednesday, we have the Vloggers game hosted by Bart Hansen from Crush Live Poker.
Awesome.
Vloggers game, of course, including Andrew Nemi, Jeff Boski, Poker Kraut. If you're a fan of poker vloggers, almost all of your favorites will be here. Everyone will be here except the ones that did not return my calls.
Busted.
Once again, guys, go ahead and click that heart. Follow us, join the stream. We are here live on Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 10 Pacific Standard Time. Plenty of poker action for you. Visit our archives on youtube.com/StonesLivePoker. Subscribe to us there. All of our content is 100% free, and we also archive it for free. You can go back and watch the very first show a year and a half ago, before we had lights or microphones. It looked like we were in our mother's basement. Because we were.
I love it. So Bipolar asks, Sean and Friends' win. That is next Wednesday.
Yes.
Veronica and Friends is being replaced that week. We're going to sub in Sean and Friends because, Sean's easier on the eyes. What can we say?
And a better poker player.
All the above.
And richer.
Good old Brett McCall, as I like to say. Are you getting Doug Polk and Daniel Negreanu there? They're totally bloggers now. Very, very true.
Hey, there's a meme online that I think was true where Doug Polk asked Andrew Nemi if he could come to the vlogger game, and Nemi says, "Sorry, it's full."
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. Actually, there's a great story too that they posted online where I think they somebody walks up to Doug Polk and goes, "Hey, I love your vlog, dude," and he was like, "Thanks." And he's like, "Oh, I was talking to Andrew Nemi behind you." Like, the poker needle is strong.
It is very strong.
And we love it. So taking a look at this, Harlan pops it up to 60. Bunch of callers. Oh, top set for Tom. Life is good. Look at this.
Now, and here's going to be the issue with Tom is he plays so few hands, and he plays fewer flops, of course. When he hits big like this, any aggressive action from him is going to make everyone get out of the way because everyone's noticing.
Yeah, really, we haven't seen really anything from Tom.
No.
So if he starts getting hyper aggressive and starts pumping in action, so Harlan bets 125.
Tom will raise.
Let's see.
I mean, players that typically play this tight are going to be aggressive anytime they make anything.
The funny thing about it is, even if Tom just flat calls, this is still going to start setting off bells for Harlan here.
Yeah, Harlan's gone right now.
Because Tom is so tight.
There's no way Harlan's coming along here for a runner draw. A re-raise from Tom, run. You're not good.
Just run. What is this?
And Harlan's an intuitive enough player. Here's the thing. If Harlan's folding top 2, King 10, he better damn well fold this.
Oh my God, I know. Guys, if you want to see a really fun pot about Harlan, take a look in the chat. I'm going to put in this link here. This was a large pot we had just mere weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. This was Harlan dragging almost a $13,000 pot. The link is in there. It's on our YouTube. Check it out.
Yeah, Harlan got away from it, by the way.
Absolutely hideous in all of the best way.
So, and this is exactly what we're talking about. Tom is a tight but solid player. But once he gets aggressive, the whole table's watch him not play a hand for 2 hours.
There, look at that pot. There's that pot, guys. There. So if you want to see why he has all those chips, click that link there in the chat.
Because the hand's about 13 minutes. Watch it with the sound on. The table talk is awesome. The commentators are some of the best I've ever seen.
I agree.
Just check it out. It's a fun hand. Already, the 13-minute clip has a little over 2,000 views on YouTube now.
That's
pretty cool.
I mean, definitely worth a watch. Just the way the whole hand shapes up is disgusting. It's almost like everybody is getting forcibly priced in as the hand progresses. It's sick.
Yeah, they're like trapped, right?
Yeah.
See, Gamarax, he agrees with me. The best commentators.
I'm pretty sure that's a sarcastic laugh, but we're gonna go with it.
No, it's a real. It's the real.
Oh, it's the real laugh?
He means it. It's like, oh, haha, it's true what I said.
Oh my God, you're the worst. Okay, so Harlan pops up to 25 here, a 5-6 suited. Mike R is gonna 3-bet up to 65. I love that username. Everybody, welcome to the chat. Your usernames never cease to amaze me. I love it. Huge fan. I'm talking to you, Sadma.
Harlan with 6-5, Mike, ace, queen, both have missed this flop. Let's see who's willing to get aggressive here.
Whiff City aggression pays. Mike R already has the image of 3-betting, and Harlan's going to instantly get away.
Easy hand.
Can't wait for our next dealer change. For those of you just tuning in, every dealer change, all of our players, well, at least 7 of our players, are doing a $50 bomb pot. So that means they all put in $50, pots at $350. They all see a flop, and then let the fireworks go.
I know Tom's not doing the bomb pot, but I do wonder who's the other one not doing it.
It's like we don't see.
Interesting.
So guys, once again, taking a look around the table, those chips there, the greens are $25 chips, the reds are $5 chips, and the blues are $1 chips. Reed Pro is in the house. What's going on, buddy? So Harlan it was very active so far at the table. I think he's getting vengeance for folding that top 2 right now. Ace Queen's going to pop it up to 25 to go. Mike R, Cornbread, Frederick all going to make the call.
Ten, 8. Mike R hitting these trips on the flop tonight.
An open-headed for Frederick now. A couple overs for both Harlan and Cornbread. Oh, how about quads for Mike R? Is this the second time Mike R made quads?
Yep.
What a tank.
7s last time.
What a beast. Let's see. CW Siggy says, what the hell, that pot? Everyone had like top pair only on an open-ender. And yeah, that's because you had an aggressive player in the beginning driving the action, one player behind, and then after like one player calls the open-ended, the odds are ridiculous. So it's like, it's an avalanche of chips.
It was the perfect storm, really.
It was. And really, the players in the positions that they were in really made that hand work. Mayhem with 5 jars of Vaseline. Solid. Oh, Sean McCormick chiming in. That's 3rd quads on the. That is overall. That's 3rd quads on the table tonight. That is 2nd time for quads for Mike R.
Oh, Harlan just takes his chips and puts them right into Mike's pot, right into his chip stack.
Here you go.
He knows he's behind, but did he know he was that far behind?
Harlan's like, I got 2nd net nothing. if that counts for anything.
Hey guys, shout out to our viewers. We are coming to you from beautiful Citrus Heights, California, the luxurious facility,
What's
Stone's Gambling Hall. 2 weeks from this Wednesday on July 26th, we have the vlogger game, guys. All the famous vloggers will be joining us here for some 5-5 action with Bart Hansen hosting the game. He'll be right here in the commentator booth. Very excited to have these guys in the room. A huge fan of Andrew Nemi and Brad Owen. Heard great things about a lot of these other guys. And if any of these guys are doing live streaming, it'll be fun to see all the different feeds going on at the same time, including our broadcast. So.
Absolutely. Just to chime back here to not subscribing and Chris Elkins 23. Looks like I guess there's a bunch of ads, couple minutes of ads coming in when you guys come in. I have no control over that. I'm sorry to hear that. At the end of the day, though, I know that we do bring you 100% free content. So thank you for being here. Very cool. If a couple minutes of next time, just click on us, go grab a cocktail, and come back.
Gamerax says if you install uBlock Origin on Chrome, you can turn off the ads.
Oh, there you go.
So that's kind of cool.
Life pro tip there by Grammarx.
I do believe they can get rid of the ads by subscribing. That's not.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're good.
Okay.
So
I got shushed.
So CW Siggy chimes in 7,200 total main event players. Official final numbers, third biggest ever. Not bad. I did hear that they had a bigger player turnout for day 1A and day 1B.
Yeah.
So day 1C, I'm probably bigger all 3 days actually. But regardless, guys, thank you for joining us. We are here with you every Monday and Wednesday night, spewing cash game action. We are about halfway through this broadcast. We got another hour and a half of Harlan folding top 2 pair, so make sure you stick around.
So we're here in Citrus Heights. Where are you guys watching from? I'm kind of curious. Of course, we always have someone watching from my mom's bedroom. Someone's always watching from Uranus.
Yes, that's true.
But kind of curious. So you guys, are you all in the U.S.? Do we have some viewers out of the country? Where are you guys watching Stones Live from tonight? I know Leo in Malaysia is watching this evening.
Our first guy chiming in from Pennsylvania.
Always
Philly
got some
Bears.
Philly watchers. We have a lot of love for Philly. That's where the Fresh Prince is from.
Yes.
West Philadelphia.
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
We gonna sing it?
On the playground is where he spent most of his days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. Sometimes he was playing some b-ball outside of school. All right, I'm done.
It was pretty good. Not as good as a Humpty Dance.
Well, I know. We can't all be perfect every time.
3 ways to this flop, guys, and Ace-10 Jack.
Dave flops the best of it here. Mailman actually
But ugly
open-ended.
though. Flop's the best, but it's ugly.
Fair and straight draw. A lot of East Coasters here. I see Manila there, right, from the Philippines. Going
That must be our boy.
Australia, yeah, right on. New Hampshire, Lincoln, California. Chris Elkins down the street. Our resident friends in Canada up to the north. There you go.
Awesome.
And disco on the turn here. Queen Peels giving
Very
Day the
nice for
straight.
day.
And this is sick because this also makes Mailman the straight, but the really, really, really scary, crappy bad end of it.
Not subscribing says greetings from Russia. American living in Russia, traveled here for a girl. Our condolences to you, my friend. You know, because you know how girls are.
Always. No, nobody knows how girls
Thank you for joining us. Are you a poker player? Not subscribing? The Gaming Phoenix is from New Zealand. I still have Auckland on my bucket list. XFlyIJX Atlanta. Greetings from Australia, it says Ryder Cross.
I love that we do get people from all over the world because, like you said, it's great. It's funny when they're chiming in different times of day. Like you say, we're at the end of the day. Some people are like, oh, I'm watching on my lunch break.
Yep.
You know.
Do we have anybody watching right now from the United Arab Emirates?
Chris Elkins, go ahead and pack in your bags for a guilt trip. Says that feeling when JFK doesn't text me for a seat anymore. Ouch, sick burn. I have some cold water to apply to that burn.
Should give it to him. It's not Stone's water though.
No, hold on. I have some cold stones of water to apply to that burn.
Oh, nice. Flux Tools watching from Galway, Ireland. I will be coming to visit your beautiful country in October. Keep it green for me, please.
Schlocker, yes, our split screen camera is not drunk tonight. It is on point. All right, so Porter's going to pop it up to 25 here. And Harlan's going to come along. And so is Mike. Mike R, maybe he'll make quads again. Wouldn't be surprised there. Queen, deuce, 4 on the flop. Wheel draw for Harlan. Top pair for Mike. They all check over to Porter, who's going to fire 65.
I like it.
Super quick call from Harlan.
Wow.
Like insta call.
Like he knows the 5 is coming.
Oh, it's Harlan. It will. Plus, he's got running diamond potential as well.
All right, I forgot about the running diamonds.
If the 5 or an ace or a diamond comes, Harlan's just going to be here all day. Look at Mike coming in for the raise. And that's, I love this raise here for Mike. This is really going to establish your position. This is going to get out all the drawing hands. If somebody has you beat, they're going to come over the top of you here. I like this play by Mike.
It gets Porter to fold, and
This should get through. Unless Harlan really wants to be stubborn.
Harlan can get sticky in these spots sometimes. He is out of position, which isn't great. He knows that Mike's playing up to his image of being a card rack tonight, too. So he might be thinking that maybe Mike's just trying to capitalize on that, but I think Harlan makes a mistake to overthink here.
My God, don't have no kids. I want to say you're hilarious, but I don't know if that's like true or.
And plus, like we have control.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they do watch Stones live. He's a huge fan of Stones live. He's like, this poker game's gonna be huge.
Harlan does let it
A little
go.
posturing. Harlan's gonna let it go. I mean, come on, guys. If Harlan's full top two and he's coming in here with ace high, it's no good.
I want to respond to Chris Elkins in the chat room. Says it feels bad that I don't text him to get into these games anymore. Hey, it's not personal. I only reach out to text for these games if I have open seats. And lately, I thought the summer would slow down, but these games have been filling up just by people contacting me a week or more in advance. So we'd still love to have you in the game. You just have to send a text out to me now. I guess I've gotten that popular.
Crafty Geek
Yeah.
asked if we're brothers. I'm pretty sure that is matching last names, not first names. But
No, it
sure.
could be first name.
Brothers from another mother. We're good.
Guys, check out
you got married and you took your wife's name?
in the chat room. That is all the information that you need to sign up for any of these games. I do have room available 2 days from now in the 5-5 PLO high game. So if
Which is
you
going to be
come-
lots of action.
should be, especially we already have one of our star players in the starting lineup.
Love it. Star players who likes to donate, mind you, not who actually likes to win pots. So you're really good. Definitely sign up for it.
Harlan is the only one hitting any piece of this board right now, but with the ace on deck, it's always a little more difficult to play because you know people love to play their aces. Guys, there was a specific reason in the chat room why I asked if we had any Arab viewers, because I was looking at the Twitch analytics for our show a couple days ago, and it showed that 6% of our viewers come from Arab countries.
Wow, cool.
And I was actually kind of shocked. I did not know that they were poker lovers. Speaking
of poker lovers.
You bastard.
Ah.
The 40K Player Appreciation Tournament is the end of this month on July 30th. There's 3 ways to get in. You can play in our live poker games, get to a certain number of hours to get your entry, win any tournament we have this month, or you could just buy in if you don't want to do all that work.
Which is cool, and it's 3 different levels of starting chips, so even if you just qualify for level 1 or 2, you can just buy the difference. So super cool. Mailman here, hoping to ship something his way, is going to raise it up to 15 with ace-10 suited.
Fitting.
Fiddling. And to the flop, Queen 9-10, couple of clubs, huge flop for Porter, open-ended with a flush
Wow.
draw. Flop the world here. Mailman binked off a 10, and Harlan got a piece of it with a 9.
So a little something for everybody. I like Peter K's mystery hand. It adds a little excitement.
Peter K is a mystery hand. Although King Jack Peter K flopped the nut. Oh,
Oh,
God.
I missed that too.
No, because you saw the dealer actually put his hand there on the reader.
Okay. Oh,
if you,
he
if you
checked
see
it.
the little diamonds in front of each player, guys, these cards are RFID cards, so that is what we use to read the player's cards, contrary to using little gnomes under the table.
I like the gnomes.
So this pot could escalate quickly here.
It's 90 total to go, and Porter puts it in right away.
Oh my God, this
Queen
is
of
disgusting.
club peels off. Harlan now has a better flush draw. He still has the 9.
Porter does make his
Porter
flush.
makes his flush.
Peter's King Jack. Oh, it's so nasty. Peter's
So
King
gross
Jack
for
now
Peter.
toast.
What can you do?
Oh wow, 300. 300, so a little under pot size bet here. 350 in the pot. Porter bets 300. And it's sick because Harlan actually has a straight flush draw. He doesn't know that Porter has his jack, obviously, but
Oh man.
all gnomes matter.
Harlan now has to decide if he wants to go for a 4th club, and he still doesn't even know that the ace of club is not out there.
Brett Michael wonders a little bit about this bet sizing.
So it's 300 into a 350 pot. He made it pot size basically.
Yeah, and it's difficult too because obviously you don't want to necessarily see another club peel. You definitely don't want to see the board double pair. If somebody already has a boat, you're in trouble. I think by betting this size,
Harlan, that's a go.
it's gonna. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh, good
I was
job,
gonna say, by
Peter.
betting this size, I think it's gonna get somebody to reveal a bigger hand pretty quickly to you. I don't know. It's interesting. I can't fault him for that. I mean, he wins the pot, so you can never fault him for a play that wins the pot.
Have you ever seen players complain when they win a pot?
Yeah.
I never understood that. If you're going to
Yeah.
complain while you're losing a pot, I get it. But people that complain about things while they're winning a pot, or the other thing that I hate is when people rag on other players for a play that they made, but they just lost to them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not the worst. And the other thing is too, when players needle, guys, every poker is a learning game. I don't care how long you've been playing; it's always a learning game. If you're not learning or trying to escalate or elevate your game in poker, you're doing it wrong. So at the end of the day, when somebody makes a bad play or somebody is like loosey-goosey or just extra gamble, just sloughs off some chips, the last thing in the world you ever want to do is needle them.
Yeah.
Like, don't grill them, guys. If anything, you want that guy at the table. Like, just say whatever.
Save your needles for us. We like them.
Yeah, we got plenty of them.
Don't chase players. Have you ever heard of the expression, don't tap the aquarium?
Oh, God.
People tap the aquarium all the time.
Fish love that. So speaking of fish, Cornbread not the fish in this situation. Top pair for him.
Good segue.
Yeah, I know. I was like, where am I going to go with this? I blacked out. See, Sly Cryno is exactly what I said. You don't ever want to rag on the players who are bad. You want them at the table. You want to be nice to them. You want to buy them a drink, and then they go to the ATM and they bring more money. I thought this was common knowledge, but I guess not. So another club peels off here. This actually gives Day now a couple more outs. Now it gives a club as an out for him. King peels on the river. This board just got more coordinated and worse for Cornbread. It is going to get checked down. Cornbread's going to table the winner.
All right. Cornbread scoops.
So back to when we talked about bet sizing there. On the turn, when Porter turns a flush. Basically, what our viewer was getting at here is that there's no way he's ever betting that pot right there, that pot size bet with a bluff. When that turn card peels, he's either got trip queens, he's got a boat, he's got the flush. He's never just like, I have 4 high and I'm gonna fire in some money. Like, I'm gonna light money on fire. That's
Even though
never-
he's capable of that.
He's definitely capable
Yeah.
of that, for sure.
I love this comment that Ain Sama says, I hate poker, but I enjoy people losing money.
Well, this is the stream for you, my friend. We'll give
That
you a
is
little bit. We'll give you a
awesome.
little bit of everything. So Mike R in the mix, going to pop it up to 15 with Ace 8 suited. Mailman will look him along. 4-9-6, couple of diamonds. I agree with you, Ghost of M. I don't think trip queens would pot that. I just, in general, it's a healthy bet that says I have a beast.
Mailman is going to bet 35 with the inside straight draw, and I mean, he probably already knows there's a good chance that Mike R has completely missed this
And
flop.
actually, he's actually open-ended. Actually,
Yeah.
with that. So
Mike's going to call, though.
absent 1902, the players definitely some of the players do watch the live stream on their phone. That's a good call there. It's a good read, if you will. But that is
You got
because
him.
we are live with you 100%. But the stream, the footage we are watching is about 20 minutes on a delay. They're 25-minute delay there, just chimed in the chat. So because of that, they are watching footage that's 25 minutes old, which brings up a different point about leveling and figuring out where you're at. If you want to know what your opponent had, just wait 25 minutes. So because of that, you get a lot of players constantly kind of shifting their game and shifting their play.
A lot of people get mixed up with us being live because they're like, how could it be delayed if
Yeah.
if you're responding to our comments right away? But we're actually watching the delayed game along with you guys, so we're seeing what happened 25 minutes ago right now.
I gotta give it up to Mike R here. So Mailman fires out 35. Oh, now he's gonna release
Go
it.
check,
Oh
check.
man. Yeah. So on the turn there, when Mailman's open-ended, Mailman bets 35. Mike R pops him up to like 105. Mailman tanks for a minute, then calls. I think
Mike
if
R's got some skills.
Dude, that's a little gear shift. I think if he fires again there after Mailman checks it to him, he takes that pot all day. So guys, if you're just tuning in, make sure you click that heart and follow us. We're here with you with live cash game action every Monday and Wednesday evening from 7 to 10 p.m. And then outside of that, we do broadcast the final tables of our larger tournaments and our big tournament series. Fun stuff we have coming up, like the Vloggers game. And I know we have our big $1 million event coming up as well. So definitely click that heart, follow us, and get funky. We like getting funky.
There's a conversation in the chat room about, do you think that watching the stream on your phone while you're playing in the stream on the table, do you think that's beneficial or do you think it's distracting? And I think it's beneficial.
I think it can be both. We'll get to that in a minute, but right now let's talk about what's going on. We have a dealer change, which means bomb pot.
So 7 of these players, I believe now, are putting in $50 pre-flop, and the other one must be choosing to sit out.
Yeah.
Oh, or are these 25s? I'm looking in front of the players.
No, they're 50.
This 50?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absent 1902, what's going on? New-ish, I know, a little over a year and some fun, you know?
No, we've been here for about a year and a half. We're not 100% new, but we are on every Monday and Wednesday, and occasionally on Sundays for a tournament final table, usually the last Sunday of the month.
It looks like we got 8 players doing this now. So
Okay,
what they're doing,
great.
guys, they're doing 8 players, $50. Everybody takes a flop, 400 in the pot, then game on. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's called a bomb pot.
Bomb pot. So everybody sees a flop. They all start their playing post flop with a pot of 400 bucks.
It makes it for a lot of fun because you get eight hands in this scenario are going to the flop no matter what. And now they're going to play it out.
And you can't put anybody on
Yeah,
any sort of
there's no
capped
way.
range
There's
because
no
you have
way.
no idea what they have. So Frederick does bink off top pair here. And this is actually perfect for somebody like Frederick who is short stacked. Talk about maximum value. He just ships 80 to top pair all day, his last 80
Yeah,
bucks.
why
This
not?
is great for him.
And looking at the hands that are out there, I don't see him getting much action from anyone but maybe Peter.
Couple mid
Peter has a
pairs.
diamond draw. Yes, some guys hit their 7. I mean, maybe he could get a little action here. And Peter does call, so I'm curious if they get down to heads up, if they'll make a decision to run it multiple times.
So look at this, Harlan. You're so sick. Harlan is a sucker for any pot where there's free money in the middle.
Yeah,
and this
exactly.
is exactly what you see here. He's going to pop it up to 180 and really start just bloating this pot. This is what's going to go down here.
So now it's really Harlan and Peter playing against each other, and Harlan going to try and extract a little extra value from Peter. All right, and Harlan announces to the dealer to put the side pot right here in front of me.
Oh, God. The needle is so strong.
There it is. Ace comes out on the turn. That does not help Peter or Harlan. Harlan's still ahead for the side pot. Goes check, check, and no love on the diamonds.
Frederick's going to take down a beast.
He gets the main pot for sure,
And
but we still have
Harlan-
a side pot up for grabs.
And Harlan does get this side. Well, we'll see here.
There
Yep,
it
check,
is.
check. 7, ship that side pot here. He knows it. So plus 590 for Frederick. That was best case scenario. Frederick's waited so long with his short stack, he can't believe it's good. Frederick's already halfway up
Pretty
to the
good.
table. His car is already
Yeah.
auto-started. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's halfway home. It's good.
Guys, if you're enjoying the game, click the little heart up in the top right corner. It's totally free. It'll just remind you when we go live so you don't miss us Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 10 Pacific Standard Time and the last Sunday of every month at a time that you won't know about unless you click the heart. Join us, become part of our community. We love having new followers here. And,
We have a lot of fun. We talk a lot of
yeah.
smack. And, what else do you want in life, right?
What else do you want?
I really like this bomb pot every dealer change type thing.
That's great.
Yeah, because it's so entertaining. Every time there's a dealer change, I'm like, ooh, piece of
And
candy.
I like that they talked the one player that didn't want to do it. It appears that they talked him into just sitting a hand out. And that's cool of him too. Like, he doesn't want to be a part of it, but he's not going to be this guy that ruins everyone else's fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, absolutely. Don't be that guy. Nobody likes that guy.
No,
That's the
come
same guy who told the teacher to oh, you forgot to collect the homework. That guy got his ass beat. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh God, I love it.
Limpin' and Pimpin', first timer, enjoying it. Thank you so much. We appreciate having you here. Do us a favor, click the little heart there.
Great username, by the way.
Yeah, very cool. Love to have our first timers discover us. We have been here for about a year and a half, which is kind of cool. From start to finish, the progress, just the view of the
Well, yeah, and I
channel,
was gonna
it
say,
looks a lot
go check
better.
out our YouTube, guys, because if you see the progression of this, I mean, I feel the production value is really strong now as far as poker streams are concerned as well. That's
pretty good.
If you see when we started, it was like a weird, dark, creepy basement. I'm pretty sure there was like a guy in a Jason hockey mask walking in the background. You don't want any of that.
Right.
So we spent a lot of time and money really getting the stream to where it's at now, and we really appreciate y'all tuning in. So Peter here pops it to 25. Cornbread is going to call Battle of the Spades. He's lucky less spades are there. You're
Very
King
lucky.
Jack 6 out there.
Cornbread with the inside straight draw, and Peter currently with the lead. Ace high is good right now, and bet it.
Gamma RX, you can see we did type in the chat there, but they ask how do we read the cards. Those little diamond pads in front of each player, they have little sensors in them. All of the cards have RFID chips in them, so we're able to tell exactly what are each of the cards. That information gets fed back here to our system and our guys. But we do manually tracking though. We do have a team of people behind us tracking the bet sizing, tracking all the cameras. I mean, a lot of work goes into this.
That's cool, yeah. Now check this out. This is pretty cool. Cornbread with 9-10 gets an 8 on the turn. It gives him what's called a double gut shot. And he does miss it, but you have the same number as open-ended, and I always thought they were kind of fun because it's two different sides of a gut shot straight draw that you can make your straight. It's no help for him, and 8 makes trip 8s. It's a small pot.
Sean 415 says, "Can you talk us into a link about the $1 million tourney?" I don't know if we can. If there's a link in there, maybe you can go to Stones or something.
If not, I'll pull it up from the.
We'll put a little link in there.
Give me a
for you.
second. I'll get the link and put it for you guys in the chat room. I think this was such a cool idea, the $1 million limit promo.
And especially if those of you are just tuning in, 5-5 no limit. Generally speaking, this is actually one of the smaller games we have here. We do a lot of like 5-10-20s, 10-20 with like a live 50 straddle. I mean, some of these games get really, really, really ridiculous. So
checked out there in the check out in the chat room, guys. I did put the link to the Stones website. That'll give you all the information that you need to know about the $1 million tourney. And up to 4 people can have a possibility to
yeah,
win
I'm
$1
looking forward to that, man.
million.
It's gonna be such an epic slow roll as everybody like opens up the envelope. Like,
Yes.
what do you have?
Yeah.
You didn't take
looking
my
forward
out, did
to
you?
it.
Like,
Here.
don't take.
No, you can't take someone's out.
Oh, because they're on
Each
their own
player
pool.
gets their own fresh 20 card
man, I
draw.
love it. I
So
love it.
everyone has the exact same chance.
Very cool.
Heads up here, Frederick getting frisky with 9-3. Cornbread Ace Jack. He's gonna put a little bet in there and take it down, small pot.
Boom, and check that out. Ghost of M added it up there, so now that is the command right there.
Very cool.
Million, done deal.
Very nice, guys.
I'm not gonna lie, I mean, we bought insurance on that promo.
Oh yeah.
We hope to use it.
Yeah.
That's why we have insurance,
Great.
guys.
Don't cost us anything. We already paid everything we're gonna pay.
Please.
If you guys win, you get paid. No skin off of our back.
I want to see everybody hit the milli. How sick would that be if
It
somebody
would
gets
be
that
pretty
milli?
crazy. I mean, it's not really worth it. After taxes, you're only gonna get like 600,000.
like, so why even try?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's
so lame.
it's stupid.
Super lame. It's the worst.
Rounding out the end of the second hour here, guys. We have 1 hour left, and you still have a chance to click the heart on your screen and follow our channel. Join our family here at Stones Live Poker. If you love sick poker action, we have everything poker, limit, no
like
limit,
maybe flopping
pot
a straight
limits,
flush draw
and
against top 2, something like that.
it's pretty nice.
I like sick poker action.
We would definitely see some fireworks here.
So checks around over to Porter. Now Porter does have the best hand currently in position, but actually look at those odds. Porter is almost 50-50 split against Peter straight flush draw. Here.
Crazy.
Yeah, here's a pot. Buckle up, guys. If you're not sitting down, I recommend it. Could get a little bumpy. So Porter bets 35. Peter just calls.
A deuce is a
Brick
brick
City.
for everyone.
The only hand that really completes there is 4-5. Porter's going to fire again. The only problem with Peter's straight draw is any sort of card like that peels off. It really, Porter hates to see it.
Look, 12 outs are all live for Peter.
Boat ski and Peter bricks everything.
The fortunate thing about that is even though it improves Porter, it doesn't give Peter anything to bluff with, so he's going to save the money there. Now, if you ever notice on the outs counter at the top of the screen, it gives the full outs that a player would be using to calculate their outs. But if we know of any that are folded, they're grayed out up there. When you saw the outs that Peter had there, they were all available.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, none of them were grayed out, and still.
Yeah.
And that just proves my theory. The more outs you have, the less likely you're going to hit one of them.
Yeah, which is funny, and I kind of like the fact that we still leave all available outs up there, but then we actually just gray out some, because that kind of gives you the player's perspective,
Yeah,
right? Because if I'm
exactly.
if I'm calculating and I'm in the pot and I'm like, if I put them on this range, I have this many outs, I have 13 outs. Little do we know, sometimes we've seen as many as half those outs get killed.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh my god, he thinks he has 13 outs, so he's got like 6.
Do you think when calculating those outs that you should make, as a player, make an adjustment in your
just
head?
assume like 10 or 15% of them's probably gone anyways?
Yeah.
That's rough.
I mean, make your calculations based on what's likely to be left instead of, hey, these are all the outs available in the deck, but you know some of them are usually gone, right?
Sean415 says, are most bad beat jackpots insured? No, they're not. No, well, not ours. I mean, I know. Basically, at the end of the day, that's what the rake is for, right? It's basically jackpots, promotions, stuff like that.
Actually, most jackpots are funded in the majority of rooms by a bonus draw.
Okay.
So, like, for example, each hand, a room might take 5, and that's the house rake, but then they might drop an additional $1 that goes to fund a jackpot. We actually don't do that here at Stones. We house fund, which means we basically just put the money up ourselves.
Awesome.
And when one hits, it's just we consider it a loss for that day, and then we move on. So, we actually do not make our players pay for their jackpot here at Stones. We provide that as a house service.
So you mean basically we're getting a little bit of what we like to call rakeback?
Rakeback.
I love rakeback.
Have you ever been in a jackpot?
I have. I've been
big
in,
one?
Yeah, I hit the, yeah, it was pretty solid.
Were you part of it or a table share?
I was part of it. I was the losing hand, so I got the big dog.
Was it
shit.
here at Stones?
It was not.
Oh, okay.
It was underage quite some time ago.
Oh, underage. Where could you play underage?
Well, I don't know if I was supposed to be playing there, but I haven't been back since, and I got them to pay me in chips, so we'll leave it at that.
Are they still open?
They are.
They paid you in chips?
Yeah, they wanted to pay me in a check, but that wouldn't work out with my ID.
Oh.
So, yeah, I got them to pay me in chips after talking with a few managers.
And then you could just keep playing, or you
And then basically I
went to the cage and cashed them in for cash?
I told them I needed them because I kept playing, so I went and sloughed a little bit back at blackjack.
How much was the jackpot for?
6,500 my side?
Did you get like 40% of it?
No, that was my.
Oh, 6,500.
Just to me.
Oh, well, that's no big deal.
No, I wasn't like, yeah, well, I'm sorry. Well, it was when I was underage.
impressed. I was impressed for a second.
Whatever.
I'm not impressed
Still waiting to hit
anymore.
one here. We're gonna hit one of them on the stream. I'm telling you. What is the current jackpot for Bad Beat? Like 40, 30?
I'm not sure. And right now our screens are up, so the jackpot screens aren't up. But we can find out after the show.
Yeah.
It's probably 40-ish. It starts at 25,000. That's the
Do
lowest
they
it could
have that
ever be.
in the app? That'd be cool if they put that in the app.
It would be cool. I don't think they do though.
Do it.
Do it.
Okay, fair enough there. Tremendo Days
Yeah,
says,
good
does it
point.
make sense to think about outs that might be gone because there are also cards which aren't outs that are gone too, so they balance
It kind of like
out.
evens
That's
it out.
solid out.
It's just
Solid.
that's the number that's the best to use.
Yeah. Taking a look, these stacks are kind of chipping up. The top three there, 2.6, 2.5, 2.2, and then 2.
Frederick was down to his last $200, and he's making a little bit of a climb
I
as
would
well.
if Frederick can double one more time, Frederick's like, he's on the ultimate comeback train.
Nice needle, Sean. You're gonna have lots of opportunities for needles when you get here next week.
Oh my god, I can't wait. For those of you who guys are just tuning in, we do have a fun game next Wednesday, a week from this Wednesday. It's the Sean McCormick and Friends. He is the poker director over at the Aria. It's going to be the juiciest, drunkiest, awesomest, nittiest 1-3 no limit game you've ever seen in your life. So definitely tune in.
They're gonna be playing red card, black card for shots.
Yeah. Oh my god. And this escalated quickly.
So no action on this hand either. We're gonna mix the cards up a little
real
bit.
quick, it looks like everybody folded around and then they did what's called a chop. You want to explain that to somebody who may be new to poker just tuning in?
Sure. It's the last two players. If no one's acted, they can agree to just take their money back. Now the big blind would naturally win if the small blind folded, but especially in this game, both the blinds are $5. So if they decide to play, that's $10, and the house is going to take $5 out of that. So
You're
they
just
really
playing for your own money
You're
back.
playing for your own money unless you put more money in. So
Yeah.
once you get to that point, it doesn't even really make sense. Now, some people will chop no matter what. Pocket aces will chop.
Whatever.
But other people, they like to kind of mix it up, and they do it based on their hand. And a lot of people do have a problem with that at the poker table. They
I
want you to be
personally not a fan of
consistent.
that. I think it's one or the other. You either chop or you don't chop.
Right. I always
That's
play,
the way, yeah.
or I always chop.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It makes your image a little shady at the table to be the guy that like, well, I'm gonna decide once I see my hand if I want to chop. or
I've
not.
been in a scenario one time where I asked a guy, "Hey, do you chop?" He says, "Hold on," looks at his cards and says, "No." It just so happened that hand, he had kings and I had aces, and I hadn't even looked yet.
Oh,
Let's just say I stacked him, and after that, he chopped.
You taught him a lesson, a little
Yeah.
smackdown. Is it, do you use the back of the hand or do you use the front of the hand?
There was lots of baby powder involved. Either way, either way.
Chris Elkin says he doesn't chop 5 or less. That means
Maybe
if he's playing
five-handed or less, probably.
Oh,
That's my
okay.
guess,
Oh,
yeah.
I got it.
Which
I
makes
got it.
sense. You're there to play at that point,
Yeah.
right? So Harlan here with the best hand is going to bet 80.
Guys, big surprise. Harlan has the best hand.
Boom, and top two, the best
Really
get
has it
better.
Now this is great, right?
show me the jack of spades on the river
Oh,
for this super sick
That
card.
is blood.
I'm a sucker.
Why do you want blood?
I'm a sucker for car crashes.
Just go check, okay. And that is going to save Day there as he does not complete his draw.
Whiff City. And Harlan is going to fire 250 into this pot here. A little bit about half pot bet. 275. And there's really no action here to be gained from Day unless he just wants to go super stone cold bluff spaz bet here. But I don't think he will. And if those sizings are right about stacks, then Harlan would never go anywhere anyways.
I think we're been pretty accurate tonight.
Moo Moo Farm XD in the house. What's going on? If you're just tuning in, this is Stones Live, brought to you live here from Stones Gambling Hall, located right outside Sacramento, California. We have about an hour left on this broadcast, and so far it's been pretty solid.
Been a fun game.
Yeah.
There's no $15,000 pots yet. But
Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's because we haven't hit the Rack Attack. For those of you who aren't sure what the Rack Attack is we do different promos around here, and essentially what happens is they'll draw a random table at certain times throughout the day, and if they pick your table, they just come in and they just dump 100 or two right in the middle, and it's
Pretty
in the
sweet.
next pot to start. So what happened was you saw a bomb pot here when the dealer changed to where they all put in 50 bucks. They actually happened at the same time. So it's a bomb pot on top of the Rack Attack, and let's just say it escalated very quickly.
If you want to see the hand that he's talking about, I'm sticking it in the chat room right now. Just click that little link after we're done tonight, and you can watch the amazing Harlan 15K pot that everyone's been talking about.
Which is where his picture actually comes from there in the profile thing. Boom.
Ace, King, 10. Cornbread does connect with his King. Frederick and Harlan completely whiff. Not going to see much action here.
Super coordinated board. Yeah, bet it to win it, guys. Cornbread bets it and it's like, yeah, I'm good. Cornbread bets it and says, please nobody call.
You want to get money in there?
I'm confused what you had. You had the first draw, but you had to leave.
Hypey City in the house, and Baldy, Brett McCall, as I like to call him, Ghost of M, Moo Moo Farm. Everybody hanging out.
It's always fun to also see how many people in our chat room are also people that have played in the game before.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You guys with there we go. So it looks like we have an old soul here.
Yep.
Eat Rice 28 says, I miss playing Stones since moving away from SAC. I remember when you guys were at the Derby when you first opened.
Old
Definitely come a long way.
school.
I remember the day that they closed. They ended the Derby. They would at like noon. They ended it with that tournament or whatever,
Yep.
right? And then they closed the doors and came over here, and it was awesome because it was a bit of a soft opening over here, and technically wasn't really even like
Yes.
announced as a grand opening.
Yes.
And it was just like friends and family, right? Like everybody,
it
if
was
you
cool.
worked here, just and the who's who of everybody you've ever played poker with in Northern California for the past 10 years was here.
Uriah Faber was here playing poker.
Everybody was here. Everybody was here.
That was about 3 years and a week ago. The 10th of July, which is today, is our official grand opening anniversary. And then
wow.
10 days ago, we were open for our soft opening.
Oh,
so we
nice.
actually opened for 10 days, like you said,
So your
unannounced.
3-year anniversary is today?
Today is Stones is 3 years old officially, even though we did open 3 years and 10 days ago.
Done deal.
Yeah.
Super rad.
So happy birthday to Stones. Do we give Stones 3 spankings?
Oh God. So Mike R. and Cornbread here are resident chip leaders, just to upset Jake, because technically that doesn't exist in the cash game, sitting at 2,600 and 2,500 respectively.
Why not?
Yeah, guys, it's been that long. July 10th, 2014 was our official grand opening.
And all of a sudden you get live standing.
It's so crazy, too. I was just talking to someone today. It's like, I look around, and when I look at the originals, the people that were here from day one, it's like 20%.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many new faces that you constantly have to constantly be learning new names. But it's great. Like, our community has grown here. And did you know we're the largest employer in Citrus Heights with a little over 400 total employees here?
It doesn't surprise me. You know, people always wonder, like, oh, well, you know, I mean, wow, that's a lot of people. I'm like, to run an establishment of this size 24 hours takes a lot of people. And I will tell you this, I love that the kitchen is open 24 hours.
Yeah, it's
it's
great.
huge, because there's so many times I'm coming home and I want like actual decent quality food as opposed to like, you know, fast food. And 2, man, this place always packed. There's always action,
Yeah.
even at like 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
And in a place like Sacramento, where there's just not a lot going on after last call, it's nice to have like a place for us night owls. It's somewhere we can go and hang out and have fun.
I'm becoming more and more of a night owl as we speak.
Are you?
Oh yeah. Has to do with my fun employment. All right, so Cornbread is going to fire 60 here. Harlan going to tank a little bit and then raise it up with some air ball. Repping a queen. Cornbread figures, if you don't have a queen, I got the next best thing here.
And that's a chop now.
The J-Man, the max buy when they sat down was what, 1,000?
It's 1,000 to begin, yeah.
1,000 to begin, and then after that, it is table stakes, which means you can come in and match up to the larger stack. So you can sit down with, you know, $3,000 right now and not be a problem.
In any Stones game, 1-3 and higher, once the game's going, we allow you to buy up to the largest stack. So a couple questions about that.
Which I love that at the 1-3 level,
Yeah.
because it makes the game so
the game is great. But the other thing is, we have a game for players that don't want to be in this giant game.
Yeah.
We have the 1-2, which is a capped $200 buy-in, 40 to 200. So we really have something for everybody. We have limit hold'em action now with our new $1 million limit promo, and we have a daily Omaha game as well, which is a lot of fun, and PLO on occasion.
Yeah,
Why not?
because reasons. Why not? And I've noticed that Omaha is getting it's gaining popularity here. Like more and more. Like the games.
It's such a great game.
Well, yeah, and the games they're just popping up a lot more frequently. Before it was kind of like you get an interest list. You're lucky if you spread one every now and then. Now,
Yeah.
I feel like every time I walk in there, there's always consistently at least one random
At
Omaha
least
game
one.
running. Yeah.
And the action's pretty good in them too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of action Omaha players. Harlan is with the check mark on the river, ace-6 bet, and he's not going to get called here. A small pot for Harlan. Chris Elkins chimes in, says he loves the 1-3 game at Stones, especially when there's like 10K on the table, and it's not uncommon.
Oh, it
the
happens a
1-3
lot.
can get so huge.
It's gonna be huge.
I think if you think about it, I mean, if every player bought in the initial max, which is 500, just double it up and you're almost at 10K right
Yeah,
there.
and,
you know?
and after that being in table stakes, I mean, a lot of the times the players, I mean, I've seen 1-3 games here that are so juicy. I've seen players leaving the 5-5 and the 2-5 game to come to the 1-3
yeah,
game.
it happens for sure.
It definitely happens.
Sometimes I kind of feel like the bigger limit games have more potential to be nitty because the players might already be concerned about the amount of money that they can lose, but a 1-3 feels very safe.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, okay, whatever, I'll ship it for 300, you got it. And all of a sudden, there's a lot of money on the table.
Right.
Oh, and here, Queen 3 suited. It's coming along. Action tracker is catching up. Put your cards in the reader, Peter. Do it. Reader, Peter.
Reader Peter. I'm counting 4 hands on this side of the table. I didn't see the other side of the table. We could have 6 hands going to this flop.
It's like a little bit of a family pot brewing. Oh,
Wow.
what a wet board. King, Queen 10 here on the flop.
Rainbow.
Wow. Looks like a pair of queens for Harlan Day with a draw to Broadway here.
And Mailman gets the message to stick his cards on his reader, so we do pick them up now. 4-3
Everybody
offsuit.
has garbage.
Squadouche.
Super squaddish. It's funny because everybody's basically saying, give me one of those crazy boards where my crappy hand connects.
And they all have them.
Yeah. And that's what happens when the board flops King, Queen 10. Nobody's got any of it.
Rose Harlan is best with this queen.
Yeah, raise from 0 to 40. Only bet 0.
And looks like
I
Peter's
raised from 0. Dear Harlan, instead of betting, he says he raised from 0 to 40.
I love it.
I respect that.
And Harlan bets 40 and takes down the pot, and he shows the 3.
What a beast. What a beast. So you talked about not wanting to show your hand. What do you think about the old pick one? Both cards face down, you let somebody pick one. What
I
do you
mean,
think about
it's
that?
fun, and if you're in a fun social game, I get it. But a table like this with all these amazing players who are already picking up on so much throughout the game,
Yeah.
my inclination is to give away as little information as
Fair
possible.
enough. And I will tell you this, I feel that most of these players are experienced enough to the point where if you do show one, they could just replay how the hand played out in their head and they can
Yes.
peg your other card
Yes.
80-90% of the time. So showing one is almost like showing two, unless your hand's just so far off
But
base.
it is fun. I love the you pick which card is going to be shown. It adds a little bit of humor into the game too.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think it's always a bad idea to show what you're doing.
What is sick, if you have a hand that doesn't make any sense or it's way off base, you made a stone cold bluff. Sometimes I like doing the show one because no matter what card you pick, it's gonna represent a completely different hand. Both of which you never even
And
had.
if you're, this is the only time that I go against this. If you're setting up advertising for later, and now you know you're about to tighten up, but you're gonna set up by showing that you made a huge bluff, that I think is okay because you're controlling your image.
Yeah.
But just to show because you felt bad about what happened, or you're trying to make yourself feel better because you got, like we talked about, unlucky on the river. I think it's always a bad idea.
Oh my god, the J-Man says, never show unless you bluff with 9 high like a boss. Oh god, I just threw up a little bit, but it is funny. Day here with a set of 6s, bottom set on this flop, top pair for Peter and Mailman. This could escalate quickly here. So Peter does bet 35. Then Day instantly pops it up to $1.25. Don't hate this raise, bit of a dry board here. Not
Peter's
really a lot of draws
savvy
going on.
enough to get away here.
Yeah.
I think with the board there as Day, like I just call, but again, like I found myself in those situations where I'm so powerful on the flop that I just call, try and think I'm going to get more money in later, and either one of two things happens: the board becomes super scary for my opponent, and I can't get any more chips in, or they end up sucking out and beating me. So either way,
not that good.
I think that it's good what these guys do when they hit the big hands and try to get the money in right away.
Yeah. And it's funny, I think the more and more poker you watch, this holds true, the more and more poker you watch, basically, you're constantly picking up different ways to play different hands and kind of what players do and how they evaluate different situations that they find themselves in. And I think that more poker is better poker. I mean, the more you watch, the more you play, the more you improve.
True.
Sicknamise joins us in the chat. What's going on, buddy?
when I get it, I can't. Got bluffed by a guy with 7 deuces.
It's like, I think it was maybe a live $10 straddle on, lots of limpers. It's going to be a big old family pot.
Forgot where we were. I was like, oh.
Ace 8 Jack on the flop. Mailman binks top pair. Pair of 8s for Tom and Day. And a straight draw for Frederick.
I mean, start small. Maybe I might have X'd that. Yeah, but still.
You got to remember in multi-way pots, it's your bets need to be much stronger to get through because there's a lot more cards out there and a lot of potential that players have made something. Eric is exceptionally happy with this turn card. 2 pair, he fires out 75, and Frederick
Nothing for
only
Frederick.
drawing to a 9.
That would have been like the 3 clubs. Frederick could have came along with potential flush draw, but
Yep.
that's just a pot ending card right there. So guys, take a look there. We posted the link in the chat. That is our YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to us. Essentially, all of our feeds and shows are archived on Twitch for, what is it? Like
60 days.
60 days,
Yeah.
something like that, a couple months. And then after that, we push everything over to YouTube. So you can go back since the beginning of time. There was dinosaurs and lava everywhere. No, okay, we don't go back quite that far.
And we actually don't wait until it's expired from Twitch to push it to YouTube. It's usually an episode is also archived on YouTube about 24 hours later.
Oh, wow, that quick.
We are exclusive with Twitch for the first 24 hours after the broadcast, and after that, we do roll it over to our YouTube channel.
I didn't know we had a title. I didn't know we were exclusive. We're going
We're
steady with
exclusive.
Twitch
We're
for
going
24
steady.
hours at a
Well,
time.
I mean, we did get to third base with Twitch.
Wow,
so, yeah,
very cool.
I know.
Very cool. I'll have to look that up later and figure out exactly what it is.
Mike-
I get confused on my base running.
Mike R with Pocket Queens, I'm fairly certain with his action tonight, he is going to flop quads.
God, he's already had quads twice, guys. We've already seen quads 3 times. So Peter is going to raise to 50 here. This could get fun. Frederick calls 50, and now Frederick was our short stack, did win the bomb pot, stacked back up a little bit. But Frederick's definitely
Yeah,
not gonna be able to see this flop. So
There's no
looks
way.
like Mike R is stacking up the hammer to throw it in, and he sure is. There's already solid value in that. He's already got 50 called by 3 other people, so there's already 150 out there to take.
Peter's out of there. Ace 10 is gone. Frederick definitely can't call. And now we're back around to see if Harlan wants to gamble.
No, it's such a huge 3-bet, 50 to 365.
Yeah.
He's literally screaming his hand face up. Here's my giant pair. Give me your monies and let's play the next
Yeah,
hand.
he
I
didn't
mean,
want
that's
to
what
see
he's
a
doing.
flop.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him. Every time I have queens, ace or king on the flop for sure.
Yeah, and if you have kings, which we all know don't even hold at stones anyways, it's what we call the ace magnet.
It is an ace magnet, especially on the live stream.
All day. Oh, this game might just get good, guys. I did just see another heavy hitter walk in the room. Get ready.
Yeah, my boy.
Oh, yeah.
AD's in the house.
I think Harlan, with it being a white hoodie like that, glasses, I call it reverse Unabomber. Right? 'Cause it's like, you're not really super quiet. Okay, yeah, the straddle is on, guys. Thanks for bringing that up, Cruel. So this is a 5-5 game. Looks like they're doing a $10 straddle, which means there's essentially 3 blinds, if you will. It's a 5-5-10 right now.
Porter with 7s. Looking to do a little set mining here. A bunch of rag hands. And no 7. We got a couple aces. Porter is out in the lead, but man, anyone gets aggressive here could probably take him off those 7s.
Yeah, Mike thinks a small piece of it here with a 4.
Checks around. Porter fires.
Unless somebody wants to get out of line here, I think this is pretty cut and dried. Yeah, bet it to win it, guys. Poker's easy, guys. You bet it, you win it. Why is everybody saying it's hard? It's easy. You bet, you win.
Signamy says you should always limp with queens, kings, or aces. Do you agree?
I'm gonna respectfully plead the 5th on that.
Have you ever done it?
Yes.
Trying to make your trap play?
Yes, and I did not enjoy it.
I think that that's kind of a played out play in poker. You know, I think 10 years ago in tournament poker especially, it was super common to try and limp early position with a big hand and then re-raise. I see more so now a lot of players at early position, aces, kings, queens, are just making a 3x for value right there, trying to get money in the pot.
Not only value, but I mean, it's so. I feel like you said the moves played out. I feel like if you limp in early position with a hand like aces or kings, you're limping to what? You're limping to check raise, right?
Right.
And it's so obvious. It's so obvious
Yeah.
that somebody in first position just I limp, then somebody makes a raise, and you just come in with this massive.
Players
raise on
are
top.
too savvy nowadays.
Now, likewise, because I think it's so obvious and played out, if you have garbage, it's almost kind of a sick play, and it'll get through most of the time
That is
too.
a sick play.
right?
No, you make a good point there.
But here's the thing about limping with big hands, right? Limping is pimping. I love it. Here's the thing. 10-bit straddle, cruel, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're the best. So here's the thing about limping with those big hands, aces, kings, queens. I'm not opposed to it. It is fun to mix up your play and get a little crafty with it. The problem is, if you do that, you cannot be married to that hand.
Right.
Right? If you do that, you have to be willing to just muck that away without even breaking a sweat because you're not isolating anybody else's range, right? People are going to get in there with garbage. They
Yeah.
are going to. So unless you flop a set, unless you flop a monster like Frederick's set of deuces here, you have to be willing to just muck them
For
and move on.
example, Harlan, by the way, has a flush draw, so he's probably going nowhere.
Next time, set me up for that.
Where's he going?
Nowhere. I'm not even waiting for you.
High energy.
Wait
That was
for
very
you.
high energy.
Nowhere. Thank you for asking. Oh, Frederick ships it.
Wow, Frederick.
Could this be Frederick's double up again he's been waiting for?
Now, if anyone's going to gamble with Frederick, it's going to be Harlan, and a flush draw is right up Harlan's alley.
Now, if Harlan had a straight draw with it, it's a snap call for
no-brainer,
Harlan.
right? Yeah.
But just having a flush draw, and he knows it's his only out. He can't spike a 10 or a 6 or anything. He knows
But
that.
he potentially has 9 of them.
It looks like Deuce Code 87 is pretty much calling out Frederick's play in there. He did the right thing to check. Now he needs to bet hard. Of course, he ships it.
Harlan lets it go. This is where we need our rabbit cam action. Mike is definitely not calling with an inside straight draw. He is going to tease his cards over there to Harlan before he lets him go, and Frederick's going to take it down.
You know, if Jake was here, he'd say no rabbit cam because that makes you results oriented.
So what?
With lots of air quotations.
Trying to be fun.
Just throw that out there. Just saying.
I love the rabbit ability, but it's one of the least used abilities on the live stream.
It really doesn't happen that often. I maybe see it once a stream.
I think it's so
maybe.
fun. When I used to play
Now,
online
what is that?
poker,
Don't you just tip the dealer?
yeah, it's
and
just
then-
it doesn't even go to the house. It's for the dealer. $5 to the dealer. My favorite sites to play online poker were because they would let you show one card or rabbit hunt, and I always thought that was so cool. You know?
So I'm like, oh my god, I could have played bad and got lucky. God, why didn't I do that?
Yeah. Why didn't I play bad? It encourages action.
Fair enough. I'm like, look, that flush is getting there every time, man.
But we actually have the ability to rabbit hunt on the delay so that the players don't get to see the rabbit, but we do 25 minutes later. Unfortunately, it can't be coordinated by us, of course, because this is in the past.
Yeah.
Our booth would have to spot a good rabbit situation and then instruct the dealer to place the Turner River cards face down on the sensors. And
Gotcha.
our software is actually so savvy that it will pick those cards up and gray them out like
Whether
the folded
it's face
outs.
down, wow.
Yeah, so if it's grayed out, that'll basically tell us that those were rabbits. Those cards never actually came out. So the feature's there, it doesn't get used a lot.
So it looks like a little bit of our chat here is kind of disagreeing. And some people love Frederick's play by jamming it. Some people don't. He was jamming basically 500 into 260.
What would they want him to do?
Well, there's a hyper bet. I mean, here's the deal. You obviously have draw heavy hands. If we could all read the future, right? If Harlan would have flushes would get there actually, then then obviously he made the right move. If it didn't, then
But here's the thing,
so,
even though it was a big bet, if he bets say 200, and now there's no way he's ever not putting his last 300 in, right?
Exactly,
So why
exactly.
not get the fold equity out of it on the flop as
and
well?
that's what it comes down to, and that's what a lot of people fail to miss, and that's where it's weird. That's why sometimes you do see people doing essentially an overbet, but they're like, look, I have 500. If I bet 275 here, like the other money's going in.
Yeah, it's going
so,
in. So it's just a matter if you want a chance to win the pot on the flop, or if you really want to get all your chips in and risk the chance that you might get sucked out on those, you would play it two different ways based on what you're trying to get out of it.
Yeah, so-
You should never be betting without a reason.
I don't know what to do. I bet. I got scared. I don't know what happened.
Live 10 on this hand. Mailman puts a live 10 out, has not checked out his cards yet. We're going to fold around to Harlan, who's going up to 20 with 9-4 suited.
This is great. I mean, it's a random one. Monday night, there's 9 other cash games running besides the live stream. And you know once the cameras start rolling, this game's going to keep going. If you guys are anywhere within driving distance, come on down, hang out, play some cards, eat some food. Look at this. King 2-6, all spades.
Harlan raising pre-flop with 9-4 spades, flops 3 spades, but look at Peter.
I know. I was going to say, Peter's got second pair with the nut flush draw. This could get ugly.
Peter playing it safe with the check here. And Harlan, this is the beauty of Harlan. With as loose as he plays, he hits a hand like this, and a lot of the time he's going to get paid on it. Peter is going to call, see if he can hit another spade. And the nice thing for
Mailman's
Peter,
got top pair, no spade. This is what I talked about. When a board is all suited and coordinated, it gets a little funky. This isn't going to phase Mailman, though. He is going to call. And Jack on the turn improves nothing here.
it does get scary now that you're losing to queens as well if you're Mailman or Peter. Peter fires!
This could get interesting.
And Harlan now facing a bet of 325.
Now we look at Harlan's stack. Harlan's got more
That's
than
more.
it says there. It says 850. Harlan's got about 1,000.
That's more than 325. Harlan says all in.
Say all in. Now this is another. Let's see. Peter bet 3.25. I'd say it's another 500 some change ish. I don't know. You know if those graphics are on point. Deuce code 87. I like your style.
Now, if you look at that all in there, as Justin mentioned a moment ago, Harlan has more than that behind. So Peter, I believe, is at risk here for maybe close to his entire stack, maybe 1,000 more.
I think it's close. I think Harlan has close to 1,000. Not anywhere from 900 to 1,000, something like that.
Okay.
And so Peter does fire in his bet of 3.25. So it's a solid, almost
I
700
think
more.
it's tough for Peter to lay down here in this situation. Now he has to put 500 more to potentially win 1.5K, and I mean he's drawing to the nut spade. He is drawing to the nuts.
He knows the spade outs are locked. He's got to imagine. He may even calculate that a 10 might be good here. But if Harlan did flop the flush, which we obviously know he did,
Yeah.
then he's limited to only spades. You can see now up at the top we talked about earlier, true outs. You can see the one queen of spades was folded, so that eliminates one of his outs. There are 6 remaining outs for Peter.
Tough decision for Peter here, especially playing against Harlan, who he knows can have anything. But I think Harlan's spades are pretty much face up at this point. Peter, of course, would love to call down Harlan in a position like this. However, this board is a little scary. I can understand his hesitation.
getting it in.
He does get it. Okay.
Stack o'
So
green.
they're asking one time.
You have a spade?
Harlan asked if Peter has a spade, and now they're deciding if they're going to run it multiple times. I don't know what they decided, but there's a 5. Let's see if we get another board.
That's a brick.
Harlan shows.
Harlan knew that if that was a spade, he was toast. There's no way Peter is ever calling that big of a bet without a spade backup.
Rough one.
Ever.
Rough one for Peter. I think it would have been wise for Peter to agree to run it multiple times, considering he's on a draw.
Yep. So taking a look at the stack there, that's pretty on point. Right about 950, I think, is what Harlan
Okay.
had. Right about 950.
I don't fault Peter for the call.
No.
They're playing against an opponent he's playing against, having the nut flush draw and a pair. It's a very good position. Sometimes in poker, you just have to make the gamble.
Yeah. Guys, taking a look at our cash win command I just typed in, you can see Mike R is our big winner so far. He's up about $1,400, followed by Harlan after that pot, up about $1,100. So, very solid. Peter K obviously down a sizable amount after that pot, chipping up Harlan. You know, I can give, if we're going to shed some light on that side of the coin, the good thing about giving chips to Harlan, if you have to pick some silver lining, is that those chips are never glued down.
They're not glued.
Those chips are not glued down. Those chips are very active and in play. As Stones Life Poker just announced in the chat, dealer change, bomb pot.
Oh, it's a bomb pot. And that is dealer extraordinaire Cameron. Also, fun fact about Cameron, amazing chef.
Yep, Cam Dog Millionaire, solid in the kitchen, solid on the table. So guys, real quick, for those of you who weren't here for a bomb pot earlier, all the players put in $50 and they just run it to the flop. So everybody gets dealt in, $50, what, 8 ways, 9 ways. So pot's $400 here, and we see a flop. So $400 up for grabs. Everybody can have an
great. 7-9 queen. Let's take a quick look at the hands here. Harlan hits a 7. I don't see anyone with 9s. We don't have Mailman's hand just yet. Couple of diamonds gives Mike R a flush draw. Definitely some potential for some action in this hand. Harlan with nothing to work with. We do have a bet from Mailman hitting top pair, 125.
And the sick part about these bomb pots is, like we talked about, everybody is just in rangeless nowhere, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, top. I mean, if you actually,
not that
isolate it,
great.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you could. I mean, everybody could have 7-9, 6-8. You open ended, straight draw, flush draw, 9 million pair. Or maybe not 9 million pair. Maybe I'm
could be 9 million.
overestimating just a bit. 11 million, more like it.
My favorite number.
So Mike R with that flush draw is going to call Mailman's bet. Now over to Peter, who
It's an inside straight draw.
is thinking about, wait, you can see Peter reloading chips there, guys. Greens are $25 chips, reds are 5s. So it looks like Peter's reloading. He'll be sitting on just about at least 1,500. And Peter is going to let it go. I think maybe Peter was thinking about getting super bluff crafty there. I'm not sure. Over to Cornbread, who's busy texting his mom, telling her he loves her, and he's going to let it go. And boom, Diamond gets there. Monster card for Mike. Not only does that
Wow.
complete his flush, it does give him a straight flush draw. Now look at Mailman. It's a great card for Mailman too because he has the nut flush redraw. If a diamond peels, it would give Mailman the win unless it's the 8 of diamonds, which would be disgusting.
These guys are both so in love with their hands right now.
Now, I don't even see the 8 of diamonds listed as an out. Oh, I guess that's an out. It's not an out for Mailman. That's why. Okay, I'm like, wait, where's it at?
Pretty sick hand.
And if you're Mailman, where are you going?
Nowhere.
Solid. I'll take it.
270 for Mailman to call, and look at he's just gonna call, and that is some discipline right there. And Mike R does pick up the check mark on the river with a 3 of clubs, and now Mike has to try and figure out, how do I get the most out of Mailman in
And
this?
again, what's playing a role in this, like we talked about, is it was a bomb pot, so any 2 cards are a possibility for any of these players here. You can kind of start narrowing ranges the way the hand played down post-flop, but outside of that, it's just rough, because, I mean, the possibilities are endless here.
Looks like about 360, 370 coming out from Mike, and not really seeing Mailman doing anything here. He may call, thinking possibly his top pair's good, but he's a savvy player. He's been paying attention to the way Mike plays all night, and
it is
most of
tough-
the time
and it-
Mike has the goods.
And it's tough because, I mean, it's such a value bet now, and now Mailman's getting more than 4-1 on his money.
Yeah.
He's got top. I mean, with the bomb pot and everything included, it's sick. It is kind of sick.
My money's on Mailman getting away from this, but I would not fault him for calling.
Mailman is literally doing rewind of the entire hand over.
That's
in his head
like
right now, trying to figure out
a
where it's at.
computer algorithm going on in his head right now.
Okay, now real quick to touch base earlier there, to somebody that asked in the chat, why do I see guys flop it twice sometimes, something like that. The players have the ability to run it up to 3 times.
Yeah.
And they do that to reduce variance, essentially. So if once the players get it all, there's an
Mailman
all-in.
lets it go.
Nice fold by Mailman. Once there's an all-in and a call, whatever stage of the hand they're at, they are allowed to run the remaining parts of the hand multiple times. So if they get it all in on the flop, they can run the turn and the river up to 3 times. If they get it all in on the turn, they can run just the river 3 times. If they get it all in pre-flop, they can run out 3 complete boards.
Yes. And remember, it's nothing anybody's forced into. There'd be a moment once the action's over that both players are asking each other and agreeing on an amount to run it. If they can't decide, we're going to run it twice, we're going to run it 3 times. If they
Then it's
can't
just-
decide, they
it's
just run
normal.
it 1 time.
Yeah. So basically what happens is, if they run it twice, if you win 1, you lose 1, it's a wash, you guys get your money back. A lot of players like to run it 3 times, because then there's always going to be a winner and a loser, right? You're going to win 2 of the 3, or you're going to win all 3. At least that way, there's always going to be some sort of winner there.
So now, if you win 2 of the 3, you're not winning all the pot, right? You're winning 2/3 of it.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
Yeah.
You're going to get 66% value there. 66 point.
Do you like how I ask questions that I already know the answer to?
Oh, you knew the answer to that?
I'm doing it for
Is
them.
that why you wear a suit? Yeah. Because you know that answer?
I have a name tag too.
I don't even see it. That should be on you at all times. It should be visible at all times. It should be clipped on the back of
There,
your suit,
see?
sir.
Oh wait, it's upside down.
You're the worst. You're the worst. What else is in there? We got business cards.
These are $80 for $100 promo buying cards
Thank
for
you.
limit hold'em.
Here
Thought
you go.
so. I thought so.
I can't lose my money fast enough. I need to lose it faster and no.
Yeah, it's only for limit hold'em. Buy an 80, get 100. If anybody walks by me in the poker room, feel free to ask for one. Free $20 if you're playing in the limit game.
Oh my God, Deuce Code 87 dropping some actual legit computer code in the chat. Love it. Well played. Hit me up. Let's make an app. Let's make some money.
All right, we got 6 players going to a flop here. A lot of
Ace-
big flops.
Ace King 10, couple of diamonds here.
Day's currently best,
great
with
flop
the
for
exception
Day.
of not knowing Mike R. or Peter K's hand.
Money script. Love it. Checks all the way around. Kind of surprising there, but I mean, you can't fault Day. First position, regardless of your hands, rough with that many players behind you. Does check around. I think we're catching up here with the action track on the turn.
There we go. Cameron helping Mike R. set his cards over the sensor. And part of the problem with Mike R is that his chips are covering the sensor. The other part is he's putting them on his sensor sideways.
We call that first world problems with that many chips. Oh,
Nice
look at that
turn.
turn.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that turn. Scary turn does actually complete possible diamonds. Nobody's got it.
Whatever happened, Mailman bets, Cornbread gets away from it. And there you see we have a rabbit.
There it is.
That's a secret rabbit. So the players didn't ask for it. Our production booth wanted to see the last card. So they asked the dealer to place the card face down. You can see how it's grayed in X.
Very fair.
That shows us that that card never actually was in action, but that's what would have come.
Justin and Justin, how are you guys tonight? Tell me something you've learned today.
I have learned that it's not good to try and cross the road while looking at your cell phone.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I drove, my buddy just bought a new Corvette, and I drove that, and I learned how fast the new Corvette is. That is for sure.
And how fast was that?
Pretty fast. Pretty fast.
There's not an actual speed, or
I
didn't.
can't legally tell you how
have-
fast I got it going without incriminating myself, so,
Oh,
yeah.
well, let's say hypothetically, if you were to drive a Corvette as fast as it could go, how fast do you think you would go?
The Speedo goes to 200. I hear it's electronically limited at like maybe 180, something like that.
Did you get there? I mean, did you hypothetically?
I can neither confirm nor deny on an open road out by the airport how fast I would
Oh.
go.
Were you trying to fly?
Yeah, if it had wings, I'm pretty sure we would have got liftoff for sure.
That's pretty great. Harlan is best here on a heads-up flop, but Mailman is coming along. King 10, Mailman does not believe Harlan just yet. And it goes check, check, 3 on the river. Harlan's still good. Unless Mailman gets aggressive, he will not have a chance to pick this pot up. He says 85 into a roughly $200 pot. Is Harlan interested in calling here with a 7?
Real quick, I got to give it up to this comment by Bipolar Psycho that I actually missed earlier. We talked about what have you learned today. He said, I've learned if you have top 2 on the flop to fold. Sick burn to Harlan. We do love it. Harlan's still laughing all the way to the bank, though. for
Harlan
sure.
calls. He's going to scoop this pot. Mailman says right away when he calls, even before seeing his card, says, you're good, Harlan. He knew. There's your chip counts, guys. Mike R. so far has the big stack. He is also in the cash win. I believe he is a top dog still, right?
Ooh, Harlan, let's take a look. Cash win
I
command,
think it's Mike
guys.
R.
Oh, yeah, Mike R. Yeah, the big dog, 2.1K. And I expect
And
that
he
that's
scooped that last bomb pot,
well,
too.
that's what happens when you have quads twice.
Right.
I hope that you're doing well and winning money. I'm just
If
gonna
you
put
had
that out.
quads twice and you left the poker table a loser, you may actually be a loser.
I'm sitting right here, bro. I mean, come on. It's not even cool.
Mike R. with too many chips is going to play Ace Jack for
Continuing to drink some of that run
20.
good. I think maybe he stole a little bit of Harlan's run good tonight.
maybe. I mean, Harlan's done okay though.
You sit next to him, it kind of rubs off. You're like, can I just get a little bit of that? Whatever fairy dust you got there. All right, so he's going to pop it to 20. 3 players to this board here. Let's
Frederick
see.
chooses just to
Show
call
me
it
like 8, 9, 10
nines.
right here.
He is out of position. What a flop for Frederick. This is exactly, unless you flop a set, this is second exactly what you want to see. Now it does check around. We pick up another 8.
Mike R now has the nut flush draw.
Frederick should be making a bet here, but he has chosen to check.
I'd like to think that anybody who had an 8 would have probably put in some chips on that flop. So in my head, I'm thinking the likelihood of somebody having an 8 there is kind of slim to none.
It goes check on the river.
I'm definitely in check call mode if I'm Frederick, is what I'm getting at. I'm not giving you credit for an 8 without you proving it to me.
Yeah.
Taking a look, Mike R is our resident chip dog here with 3,300. Chip dog is an official poker term.
Is it DAW?
Yes, of course, because it's a cool one.
Guys, thank you everyone who's been here the whole night. If you're just joining us here at Stones Live Poker, there's a little heart icon right there. Click it. That'll let you follow the stream, and you get a little notification if you want it when we go live on Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 p.m., reminding you to tune in. We also occasionally do final table for our tournaments, for example, on July 30th. And you won't know what time it starts unless you follow.
True, because it starts whenever the hell we feel like eliminating the other 90+% of the field.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Cornbread with that same ace king. He's no stranger to that hand tonight. Is going to raise it up to 25.
Dave's going to gamble with 4-5 suited and swing and a miss.
Sinchin 1969. The buy into this game there is scrolling across the bottom right now. It was a $200 minimum to $1,000 max to start. After that, it is table stakes. You can match the largest stack of the table. If you want to come in and you want to show Mike R what's up, you can just buy him for $3,200 and stack him in one hand. Easy game.
You could.
Easy game.
I mean, as long as you didn't get quads, you could.
Yeah. Good luck. Jiu-Jitsu Topher, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the chat.
He says he loves us, but
He's talking to you.
I wanna just put it out there that I only like you as a friend. I want to be clear.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you just friend zone one of our viewers?
I think I did.
That's rough. Sean McCormick with the jokes. I love it. He'll be here all week, guys. Tip your wait. Actually, he will be here next week, actually, so tip your waitress.
That's actually a pretty funny one. Oh, I used to be a programmer. That's
You know, bipolar psycho, sometimes people do short buy, and go into beast mode. It really, that's definitely some people's MO. We don't see it too much on the live stream, though. Generally, these guys are here to play pretty deep when they can. But I've seen it a lot around the room. That's some people's thing, like just buy in for their $50, $100, and just try to run it up. For me, I like to buy in for a little bit more because I like when I wake up with a big hand, I like to really maximize my value there and maximize my losses so I can cry on the way home. Mailman 3-betting to 75. I like this.
So this is what I was talking about Mailman earlier, where he starts off relatively quiet, and then as he learns the table, he kind of opens this game up. Yeah. You see a 3-bet with 10-9 is a little more on the loose side.
If there's one guy who really loves and knows how to play position, it's Mailman. And when he has position, he's pretty much in. Ace 7-5 here, top pair for Harlan. Harlan's definitely not going to go anywhere here. But Mailman's, I'm assuming, going to c-bet. Other than an ace, it's kind of random. Oh, not going. They're going to check it through. Oh, great card for Harlan now. Top pair along with the nut flush draw. This is where we put up on the screen, nut flush draw and its definition. People are like, why does this guy keep saying nut something? I don't get it.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, there are a lot of viewers of Stones Live that actually aren't poker players but enjoy learning and watching the game. And we can't just assume that everybody knows what variance is and what a nut is.
I don't even know what variance is.
Good thing we're your commentators.
Hey-o. Well, I think somebody tabled their hand and then Harlan showed a 10. Like, everybody got a 10. You had a 10, I had a 10. Nuts. Like, you mean like Honey Nut Cheerios? No, I'm just on a cereal kick right now.
I like pistachios mostly.
let it happen.
They're my favorite nut.
I like macadamia nuts, but only if there's in those like amazing Hawaiian chocolate caramel
Chocolate,
thing. Yeah,
yes.
you know what's up. The Hawaiian Host. Yeah, dude, give a shout out in the chat if you know what I'm talking about with those tasty Hawaiian Host things that are like 1,000,000 calories a bite, but nobody cares because they're amazing.
Deuce Code wants to know if the blinds are increasing. Is he trolling me?
I think you're getting slightly trolled, and I respect it.
All right.
Porter with Jack 10 on the button.
5.
He's going to make it a quarter to go. Guys, once again, if you're just tuning in, reds are 5s, greens are $25 chips, and blues are $1 chips. Our one-handed typer is punching that in the chat for you. 8-9 deuce, open-ended for Porter, not a bad flop. I don't mind an 8-9 flop when you got 10 jack. I love it. It's kind of disguised, especially if you raise pre like Porter did. He bets 25, and Mike R is going to come along. Another club peels. Both players with the club, kind of battle of the upper end clubs here. Oh, Sly Cry and Deuce Card 87. I love you all. You're fantastic. Oh my gosh. How many programmers are in the chat right now? Can we just get you all to
What's
chime
up
in
with
for
that?
super programmer trolley jokes? Because all of you, I know you guys are the only ones laughing at these jokes, right? 'Cause, I mean,
I
again,
loved it. I thought it was a great joke. Brock wants to know when that big limit game is. It hasn't aired yet. July 24th. It's a Monday. 100, 200 limit.
So 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today,
2
baby.
weeks from
Mark
today.
your calendar. 2 weeks
Yeah.
from tonight, you will
That
be
should
watching.
be a lot of fun.
Dude, 100, 200 limits. Gonna be
Limits.
disgusting. You're gonna see like weird check raise.
I don't
if,
think
and if
there's
you
been a
get-
game that big here.
No, and if you get monster hands up against each other, it's just gonna be like, if you ever watched
Yeah.
an intense limit game where it's just like people are raising each other as fast as they can, they're just like raise, re-raise, 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 4-bet. And I'm just like, this is gonna be ridiculous.
I'll buy in for 2 blinds.
Yeah, Brock actually wants to know, what is the buy-in for the 100, 200 limit game?
2,000 minimum, no max.
Oh God. Well, I guess no max because
Yeah.
who needs a max?
Who needs a max?
I'd buy in just for the just for like just crazy amounts. Just
I'd
like,
buy in 1 million.
Do it.
$1 million.
You don't have plaques for the table yet. This isn't Casino
We
Royale.
don't need plaques. It's, we got cash chips. We have 1 million chips.
And you're gonna break the table from the weight of the chips.
Yeah, that could
Now
happen.
that is first world problems. Mailman here with 10 jack suited is gonna raise it up to 30.
Ten high flop. Got all in with king against queen.
Boom. King 6-4 here. Rainbow board. Harlan in the lead with a pair of sixes. No surprise there.
This is spade, this is the bird.
Oh my God. Now they're talking about it. Kings never hold at stones in programming language. I respect it, hate it, and love it all at the same time. All at the same time.
40.
Lucky Donkey says, any advice to give me? Made day 2 of my local casino tournament. Have 25 big blinds. First tournament ever. Well,
Congratulations first.
first off,
Yeah.
congratulations. Second off, it's your first tournament ever, so I don't know if you know this, but you're gonna win it. I mean, that's how it
No,
goes.
it's true. Beginner's luck. Yeah,
Ask
it's
how
a real
many.
thing.
Ask how many times people win the first tournament they've played. It's a staggering yes all around the board. But 25 bigs, you don't really have a lot to get super crazy involved in a mix of hands. I mean, you want to kind of snug up and pick your spot and ship it and double and go from there. I mean, yeah, 25 bigs. You definitely don't want to be in the I'm gonna call and see what happens mode. You want to be a lot more snug, and you want to wait for the bigs.
I have heard that it's positive EV for a day 2 tournament player to follow Stones Live Poker by clicking that little heart button. That will actually help him increase his chances of
That's very
his
true.
hand holding up. So make sure you do that. We want to be able to help you, and watching all of our Juicy Tournament archive. That'll help too. Give you a little some examples of things you can and can't do.
So I know sometimes you like to joke, sometimes, but that's actually very, very valid. If you want to talk about just fun
Whoa.
table play and deep poker,
Are you
validate.
complimenting
No
me?
bullshit. No, never mind. Forget it. But
Wait a minute.
Just go watch our YouTube
Bob, make
channel.
sure
No,
we're recording.
we're not
Okay,
recording.
continue.
We're done.
Continue,
We're done here.
sir. I'm ready.
I'm gonna claim it as my very own idea to go watch our tournament final tables on our YouTube channel. That's it. End of story. Mic drop.
Speaking of pocket kings, Peter K picks him up and just calls Porter's raise with Ace Jack, and Mailman says yes.
Let's
Give me
see if-
some of this
let's
action.
see if we're gonna move kings to dev. No, like we
Oh.
said earlier, we sure are.
Of course there's an ace. Of course there's a freaking ace.
Tell me how you really feel. Don't sugarcoat it.
Every time I have kings, that damn ace shows up. It's very irritating. So Porter's gonna go ahead and bet it out here. Peter not even kind of happy about this situation, and he's gonna let him go. And that's one thing. Peter does have the discipline to not get attached to a hand like this in this situation.
Well, and that's what we were talking about earlier. If you're just gonna flat call or limp with a huge hand like that, you have to be willing to just
Yep.
insta-muck it and not think about it.
And he did. That's great.
I do love Sean McCormick's comment. I won my very first tournament I ever played for like $800. I now run a poker room and I've never seen a win again. Hashtag it's a trap. Straight up.
It's a kind of a good trap,
Straight
though.
up. I figured out how to be a winning player at Stones. Don't draw kings.
Seriously. I mean, you see a hand like kings or aces pre-flop, you get so excited, but there's so many ways they can go sideways, and you're gonna win a lot of times small pots with those hands, and you're gonna lose big ones, and that's the downside
Yeah.
to them.
That's what I say. And people are like, oh yeah, I see, aces or kings. I was like, I can guarantee you this about aces or kings. That generally speaking, you're going to see a large pot. And always know you're not always going to be on the winning side of it with
Right.
those hands, but you're going to see more
Exactly.
than likely a large pot. So Harlan 3-betting up to 60. Other two players are going to come along. Top pair for Cornbread here. A couple of overs for Porter. Harlan does connect with his 5. A little bit of love. A little wee bit of love. Raise to 2 1/4 by Cornbread. I like this raise here. You do have top pair, sizable kicker. This pretty much shows you where you're at. Everybody checked to Harlan knowing that, he was the original pre-flop raiser. You're most likely going to get a C-bet from Harlan, whether he connected or not. So either way, it's going to add some money in the pot if you think you're ahead. I don't mind this move. Queen on the turn here. It changes nothing, really. It is an over. A bit of a scarecrow for Cornbread here. But short of a flush draw, what's Harlan really calling you with the queen there?
Yeah, I don't think Harlan calls this bet, but it is interesting that earlier tonight we did see amazing lay down Harlan with top 2 laying down to Cornbread, and it makes me wonder if these two have some history together. Like maybe Cornbread is Harlan's kryptonite.
Yeah. Maybe Harlan just doesn't like Cornbread, like the food in general. Just saying. I don't know how well that works with his aggressive CrossFitness.
And his bullet dodging.
Bullet dodging. He is a bullet dodger. He just goes straight Matrix style. But I hear the Audis come bulletproof, so he should just upgrade.
Oh, do they? That's great. I should get one. Day, good game, buddy.
Good
Oh,
game,
hey,
buddy.
you know what? Can we get you in here for a
Yeah,
second?
here, hop in. Just for one second. No, he wants to ask you about
Come back in. Bring a chair in. Guys, you saw him at the table playing tonight, and he's just stopping in for a second. Day, we told kind of a little story about some of your poker history. Now, do you remember the hand? We wanted to ask him about the action in it?
Yeah, he had 9-10 of clubs, and then the board 4 clubbed out, and then he was facing a huge bet from Porter.
Do you remember this hand that we're talking
I
about?
do.
I was kind of interested in your thought process. Like, what were you thinking during that hand?
He bet so small on the flop and the turn, and then on the river he bet way over too much, and then
Kind of what we were talking about.
exactly, right? And then his image to me is
Stuck in a little bit.
a little different. So
You too.
All right.
we gotta get close in here. This is how we do it. So
table image is why I called that.
And see, that's exactly what I was talking about with Day earlier in the night. You said that the strongest part of your game is being able to size people up and read them. And that's when your dad was teaching you. He recognized that ability.
Yeah. I was like 4 or 5, and then he
Yeah.
was just like he just put me into like the casino right away. Right?
Very cool. And so, are you you're new to Stones? You kind of just discovered it?
I've been here probably about 6 months, like off and on. Though.
Cool,
So,
man.
I like you guys a lot. So that's
Thank you
why-
so much. We were talking about how we tricked you into thinking we're celebrities.
I thought you were for sure.
Oh, come on. See? He thought I always was.
Exactly, right?
That's fantastic.
And
Well,
the haircut too.
Thank you. I know this is a great haircut. It's a pleasure to have you as part of our family here at Stones, and we're really enjoying watching you play in the game. So thank you for being a part of it and stopping into the
Thank
booth.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
Right
so
on.
much.
Always a pleasure,
Looks like you had a great night. So keep up the good work, Day.
Thank you.
So Day, one of our players leaving the game. However, you won't see him leave on the stream because we're done recording already.
He's a
everything
time
we're saying-
traveler.
Yeah, he is a time traveler. He is a fun player. He's a fun player to watch. So
Okay, speaking of which, fun players, this is the last hand here. And let's see if he gets involved in this one. He is on the button, and he's reaching for chips. And of course, he's got ace, king of diamonds.
all right, this is a great last hand considering we just had him in here.
So he's definitely got Porter locked and notched.
please.
Great spot to pick up ace king suited on the button. Love that. Mailman coming along again. Pocket tens for Mailman.
I feel like sometimes the deck really cooperates. They're like, hey, I hear this is the last hand. Let's throw out some crazy crap. See what
Right.
happens. Harlan with suited connectors. He's in all day. All right, so 4 big dogs going to the flop. 6-6-9 Harlan flops a boat.
Of course he does.
God, how's that
Of
run
course
good?
he does.
Harlan basically got this magical horseshoe. He got it surgically implanted.
When I grow up, I want to be Harlan.
God, 5 of diamonds. Now, what a setup. So this gives Day a huge potential here. Nut flush draw, a couple of overs. Day is definitely going to get sucked along here. And after the check all the way around on that board, Mailman's definitely going to take a shot with his 10s. Pot's 565. Looks like Mailman's stacking here. Yeah, rigged indeed, guys. This is all the way right here.
How is this the last hand? We're so lucky tonight.
I know. So check this.
We need a 10 of diamonds on the river.
Suited ace is like, oh my god, please don't hit a diamond. Oh my
Oh,
god.
I guess we can't have a 10 of diamonds. My bad.
No, you're the worst.
There's not 2 diamonds in the deck? Come on.
That would be a real bad beat. So Mailman bets 260 over to Harlan, who's honestly, if I'm Harlan, I'd flat because I want
Yeah.
Day. I want Day in the pot behind me.
Absolutely.
I started saying all day, but it's true. I want him in the pot.
Day all day.
Oh, are you reaching for more? What are you doing? What are you doing, Harlan? You stop it. And this is where Jake says, and we call, and we call. There's no card that hurts you here, and you know it.
Yep.
And we call that a. Did he say something?
It was just a call.
Okay. Don't scare
Oh,
me.
325 more.
What? Why?
I think that's what Cameron announced, but I'm not seeing it on the graphics yet.
Why? I'm so angry right now.
Maybe he did just call. I thought I heard Cameron say something.
Well, no.
No, it was a raise.
He did raise, and that got Cameron away.
Good fold by Day
I'm
there.
sorry, and that got Day away for sure. And now let's see here, because
Day would have got trapped there. King comes.
yeah, I think Day. It was a nice laydown. I agree with Ambaldi. I think Day is good enough to get away from this here with the aggressiveness of it, and then what Harlan shipped it. This looks so bloaty overbetty. I mean, Mailman's gonna. And the sick part is, if Mailman thinks about it and sees it and thinks he's gonna
Wow.
see a king from Harlan, that's disgusting.
Harlan staying as still as he possibly can. Can we get the camera over there on Mailman and see what he's thinking
Harlan
about?
down in the tank. Don't move. Don't breathe. Don't move.
Right.
Don't breathe.
There we go. We got Mailman in the shot and making a decision now for, it looks like, all of his
stack,
chips.
Yeah. And this is one of those times, guys, where Harlan is very, very capable of complete airball bluffing here.
Yeah.
And this is what Mailman is thinking. Is this one of those situations? And this is
Yeah.
what gets Harlan paid.
And now I know for a fact that Mailman and Harlan have a history that goes back more than 10 years.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to say decades.
As a dealer, I've dealt to these two playing in Big 10, 20 games. So I know these guys know each other's tendencies, but also you got to think they have both matured and progressed as poker players too. So it just becomes levels on top of levels.
Look at this bipolar psycho sets us up for the where's Mailman going? he's going busto.
Mailman asked Harlan, do you have a flush draw, Harlan? And Harlan still staying as still as he possibly can stay.
Yep, Mailman here. And like I said, this is about Harlan's. This is what makes Harlan so polarizing. You see him play any two cards,
Yeah.
and you see him make just stone cold bluffs with nothing. And look at Mailman just laughing, having a good time. You gotta love Eric, dude. You gotta love Mailman. He's
I mean,
crazy.
he's a student of the game. He understands the swings, but he is going to make the right
lets it
laydown.
go. Good fold
Good
by
job.
Mailman.
And honestly,
Great
the king
fold.
probably did cost Harlan some money. If that's a deuce on the river,
And Harlan doesn't show, but Mailman knows
he
right
knows
this
now.
second. He made a
I
monster
think you got a
laydown.
deuce on the river, and I think Harlan gets paid. I mean, his hand is so perfectly disguised. It's the king that saved Mailman that last bit of money.
Yeah, because I think Mailman, honestly, what's going through his head is, what if he had a king high flush draw? And he bigs the king. He doesn't want to be like, oh, I had you all the way, nice hand, blah. You know?
So guys, I'm really sorry to say that was our last hand of the evening.
Hell of a hand, though.
Hell of a hand. Yeah,
Yeah.
we will be back on Wednesday Jake will be here for some expert PLO analysis.
Absolutely.
There is room in the game still, so if you want to contact me and get up on the list, we'll start playing 5:30 this Wednesday. I
the chat.
believe my boy Justin here just put the command in there so that you guys know exactly how to do it. So thank you again for being here. Your last chance to click the heart right now. Make sure you do it. We love having you as our followers and our viewers. Thank you guys, every one of you and all of you. And ready? Kisses to all of you.
I will not do that, but I will say we
Just
had
do
a,
it.
no. We had a great time.
Sorry,
and I expect
guys.
to see you here again soon.
All right, guys. You have a great night. Stones Live Poker, Justin and Justin signing out. See you later.
Later, guys.